Honestly, for me, being able to make this video is surreal. Welcome, I'm Frappolo94, and for those of you who are unaware, this is the part 2 of a mini-series of 100 days videos on Digimon World games. And god damn it if the first one went well, over 80,000 views and 1,000 comments! Really, thank you so much. Just to clarify, you don't need to watch that video to watch this one, even though I will make some comparisons. The only real thing you need to know is that I love Digimons and I love 100 days videos, and that's why we're here. Oh, and if you are new to the franchise, Digimons are digital monsters able to accumulate data to digivolve into stronger forms, which go from baby all the way to mega. They were born as a spiritual sequel to Tamagotchi, and if you dare to call them bootleg Pokemon, I'm gonna ban you. But in any case, it required a huge amount of time just to record the 100 days. So if you want to support the channel, you can leave a like and subscribe, and maybe we can have another episode with 100 days of Digimon World redigitized, which, differently from this one, I have never ever played, so it's gonna be a blind 100 days. But let's talk about today. For this run, I have multiple goals. Of course, beating the game, then recruit all the Digimons for the city, and then complete as much side content as possible. This includes EX scenarios, reaching max Tamer level, beating all the enemies in the Colosseum, and so on. And also I want to talk about the things this game does differently from the original, both those I like and those I dislike. But there is gonna be time. For now, make yourself comfy, take some chips, and enjoy the 100 days in Digimon World! Next order! The game starts with an intro which clearly wants to wink at the old fans of Digimon World, where our main character is dragged once again in the digital world. And I gotta say, I love these designs of the main character. I feel like Digimon, especially with the newer games, struggled a little bit with the character design, and some of them end up just being too much, if it makes sense. These ones still feel kinda generic, but in a fresher way. But here we are, inside of the digital world. And oh boy! In case you don't know, those are two very iconic mega-level Digimon, OmegaMon and Garurumon. Our excitement is interrupted by a little cutscene. Hey! That's the final boss of Digimon World 1! It's Machinedramon! OmegaMon and Garurumon present themselves as our partners and are ready to fight the Machinedramon. And so the first battle of the game can official... Guys, this is one of the most exciting beginnings of a sequel I have ever played, honestly. Being able to see Machinedramon with a remix version of the original battle theme of Machinedramon. We're gonna have time to discuss about how I feel about battles, but to summarize, Digimons are gonna act independently and are gonna attack independently with the skills you equip them. Every now and then, you can click a button to inspire your Digimons and give them order points. With order points, you get access to a little action menu where they can perform multiple skills and even do some other special actions. And we get immediately introduced to the new spice of this chapter, EXE Digivolution. A special type of Digivolution which is able to temporarily combine two Digimons into one. Yeah, and unfortunately I cannot put the audio for this part because it's a copyrighted music, but you can still witness one of the most gorgeous designs I have ever seen on a Digimon. OmegaMon. Honestly, this intro gets a 10 out of 10. I am very biased towards Digimon World 1, as I said even previously, and this intro was literally the perfect fan service for a Digimon World 1 fan. If this game remains at this level, this could be one of my favorite games in the world. Spoiler, unfortunately it won't. Machinedramon faints and gets dissolved, leaving behind just a baby Digimon. And after this excruciating battle, we get teleported to File Island. And look, there is Digimon! I know it may seem very stupid, but if you were like me, a child, when you played the Digimon World 1, you probably had the same feeling. Unfortunately, our partners pass away from fatigue. But look how many Digi-Eggs! Imagine just how many Digimons can come out of all those Digi-Eggs! So, I select my new little baby partners, and then we can finally start talking with Digimon. The digital world is on the verge of collapsing. Numerous Machinedramons started appearing out of nowhere and destroyed everything. Because of that, the city of Floatia? Floatia? Is it Latin? Is it English? Oh no, wait, I think I got it. It's a Floatia because it's a reference to float, a type of variable in programming. The city of Floatia was destroyed and now is almost abandoned. I appreciate this change. In the original, Digimons went crazy because of a virus and left the city. In here it's just everything was destroyed, I guess I'm gonna find another place to live in. And it's a change which kinda makes me think Digimons in this world are more similar to OmegaMon. They are more humans in their thoughts, they have to think about themselves too. Our mission is to bring back the citizens and deal with the Machinedramons. And just like that, gameplay starts! And so does our day 1! We can start by exploring our the music of the cities are a mix of the original music in Digimon World 1. Again, this is not my first run of this game, but god damn it, I feel nostalgic for a game which I played like 4 years ago at most. In case it's the first time you follow me in these 100 days videos, I don't really like to rush at the very beginning. I just want to have some fun, relax and see my favorite Digimons going around. Don't worry, later there is gonna be a lot of time for optimization. Differently from the original, every single Digimon in the town has a lot of tutorials and explanations of mechanics, up to the point of being almost annoying? Like, I feel like if you are not accustomed to this type of games, it's gonna be a huge chunk of information to digest altogether, but you don't necessarily have to. Everything will slowly make sense over the course of these 100 days, trust me. To summarize in the simplest way possible, we have 2 partner Digimons, we have to train them to become stronger and digivolve to later stages, but remember, they are also Tamagotchi, you have to feed them, make them go to the bathroom, and they age and eventually die. And then there is the meat farm. Listen, we are in a digital world. Of course meat comes from the ground. Where would it come from otherwise? While I was talking, our Digimons digivolve from baby to in training. The first stages of Digivolution pass by very fast, but the later stages are gonna require a lot of setups and a lot of time to be reached. But in any case, this is the gym, the first available way to provide training. You just select which stat do you want to train for your Digimon, and then there is this little roulette. If you land on an image, you get a little bonus in training. I'm not a fan, honestly. In the original, you had these little funny animations for each different machine. In here, it's just you interact with a device. Okay that it's supposed to train, but couldn't you put a background animation or something? This feels like a downgrade compared to the previous one. After in training, there is Rocky, and they tell you all the different stats you need for each Rocky available to you. In the first episode, I complained about how there is literally no way to comprehend anything about Digivolution, even after millions of years of trial and error. And I know you may think this kinda removes the surprise factor, and you would be correct, but trust me, there is gonna be something more important later, trust me. Huh? It's poop time! We can finally go to the bathroom! It's time to see the poop animation! Okay, they just censor the poop animation. I mean, okay, I can actually see why you cannot see the poop animation. I guess it would be kinda weird to see some Digimons pooping on the ground. And after spending some more time training, we finally get our Rocky stage Digimons. Say hello to Clear Agumon and Black Toy Agumon. Wow, my first 2 Rockies of these 100 days are 2 recolors of another Digimon, which is Toy Agumon. Perfect! And if you are wondering what's the difference between Clear Agumon and Toy Agumon, is that Clear Agumon is slightly more transparent. And I know you may say, hey, we have been around 10 minutes on day 1! I know, the first days are gonna be a little more heavy on information dumping, but later on they're gonna be more fluent, I promise. With Rookies, we can finally explore outside the city, where our first enemy awaits. Patamon. Listen, I'm a simple person. I hear a remix of one of my favorite soundtracks from Digimon World 1. I scream. After beating the crap out of him, Patamon joins the town. Remember, that's our main goal, making Digimons join the town. And with that, welcome to the adventure. Time is constantly passing, the world is full of food and items on the ground, there are vending machines, toilets, Digimons going around in the wild. You can do what you want. We start going around, taking some food from the ground, and taking also materials. Materials are not usable for now, but later on they're gonna open a component of the game which is very, very incredibly grindy. We will talk about it later. We also start doing our first battles against random Goblimons in the wild. First, because I want to show you the general rewards you will get, money, possible items, and some stats for your Digimon. And the second reason is to be careful, because even in early game areas, there are nukes. And talking about nukes, this is Numemon. Numemon is a level 2 Digimon, and we fought a Goblimon level 1 and it was a complete pushover, so theoretically it shouldn't be impossible to win against a Numemon, right? No, you are wrong. And you know why? Because Numemon is a champion level 2. Goblimon is a rookie level 1. It's different. A champion level 1 will always be stronger than a rookie level 1. And other than that, I don't really understand levels. I think levels on enemies were placed as a sort of idea of the power scale between them, but I think it would have been more helpful if your Digimons had a level as well. If you know what level your Digimon is, they would make sense, but only this makes it kinda useless, honestly. And also to me, these levels seem kinda inconsistent, but you will see for yourself. In any case, I think we spent enough time on day 1, so after some more little explorations, we can go to sleep and see each other on day 2. This day was spent mainly fighting some Digimons in the starting area. After all, as I said, it's just the beginning of our adventure, and differently from the first game, the stats you gain from battles are more generous, let's say. Also remember, this is just the starting area. If we leave it even by just one step, there are demons in the wild which can one-hit us potentially. So of course the best decision is going to a new zone, the server desert. There is a reason, no worries. The reason is I want to start a quest which involves Togemon. Apparently Togemon and Vemon argued because Togemon was trying to keep Vemon safe during the training. How do we solve the conflict? How do we make it so that Togemon and Vemon are able to go back together? Psh, it's very simple, of course we have to beat the crap out of Vemon! Except that we are crybabies and so we get one shot.
Get up! I'm sorry. You're kidding! This can't be happening.
No. I did not modify anything, I did not modify the length, the speed, nothing! That's the loss animation of this game! This is just the beginning of a discussion I want to make through the video about how I feel like this game has an incredible potential, but the execution is kinda weird. Okay, to be fair, it was first released on PS Vita, so I don't know if that's a problem caused by the port. Maybe Vita was not programmed to... No, screw it, I don't think it's a PS Vita fault that we have that very long animation. But in any case, what I'm gonna repeat over and over is that I think, and you can tell me what you think about it, to like this game, you need to be a Digimon fan already. Because the game is full of clunky moments, extreme grinding and so on. But then there is the possibility to see your Digimons very happy, there are the 3D models which are very cute, there are the remixes of Digimon World 1... I have a lot of stuff to show you, you are gonna make your own conclusions. In the meantime, our Tamer level goes up. This is a new feature, leveling up will give you Tamer points. With Tamer points, you can get some Tamer skills, which will stay independently from your Digimons. And the skills you can buy are very different, bonus from training, increase lifespan, get more items from battles. Our Digimons will die, but the skills will never go away. I will not say through the video every single skill I buy each time, except if they are very important and game-changing. For now, I'm gonna buy Walk for HP, so we can restore some HP while walking in the wild. And with that, we can go to day 3. The day starts, of course, with some other battles against enemies, because trust me, we are not ready to leave this zone. And then I finally started collecting quests from the Digimons in the starting area. Getting Digimons into the city is gonna be fundamental towards being able to proceed, because they help us in the long run for various reasons, either selling stuff, or because they can store your items like the Patamon we just recruited. And that's why I gathered 5 green Digistalk from the ground for Numemon, and he thanks us by fighting. What the fuck is wrong with this game? And I gotta say, this battle was incredibly hard. Again, I don't understand the levels. A level 2 Numemon was unbeatable, but a level 1 Numemon is a piece of cake? Like, a single level makes that much of a difference? Whatever, because he joins the city, and from now he's gonna stay near the toilet and give us portable potties each day as a passive bonus. This thing, in my opinion, is great. Putting a Digimon like Numemon so early gives you the idea of how beneficial could be. Each Digimon you add to the city may be crucial towards your game plan. They may add some incredible passive bonus, or provide some new mechanic which completely changes the way in which you play. And later at night, there are some level 4 Goblimons we can fight. And I lose again.
Crap! This is the worst!
So I just spend the rest of the day doing some more training. Oh, by the way, I did not say it, but I'm gonna say it now. Do you remember how in the first game you had 3 lives, and then if you died 3 times your partner was dead? GG, you have to restart? Not here. Yeah, they completely removed death from multiple losses in battle. And I think this was done for 3 main things. First, because the game is gonna be incredibly grindy, and so I feel like they didn't want you to lose so many progresses because of some losses in battle. Then because very later on there is gonna be an important component towards losing battles. And final, and we are gonna talk about this more later, because the game is trying to make itself more easy. You will see. But for now, you will see day 4. Between the usual fights we start doing every day to gain some money, we also find Wormmon. Wormmon wants to make himself useful, and so we find a tree branch, give it to him, and he provides us with a fishing rod. From now, if we want, we can start gathering fishes, and then he joins the city. And that's not the only one either, we find even a Kuwagamon in the wild which wants some royal jelly. It wasn't even that difficult to be found, it was in the same corridor Wormmon was in. With that, even Kuwagamon joins, and apparently he's gonna provide some help in the gym. Right after completing this mission, we get a mail from Digimon saying he has more news. Once arrived, he explains he found more human beings in this world and asks us to check on them. Yes, this is what happens. Recruiting Digimons is not only useful for the Digimons themselves and for the functions they unlock. The story itself will continue only once you gather enough Digimons for prosperity, unlocking more zones and more recruitable Digimons as well. And if on one side this spreads the story in a more homogeneous way through the game, on the other hand, it causes something which unfortunately is different from Digimon World, something I really liked. Huge sections of the world and even recruitable Digimons are locked behind the story. Don't misunderstand me, even the original one had some situations like this one. For example, the whole Mount Panorama is temporarily locked by Meramon, even though there is technically the invisible bridge. Or, I don't know, you can think about Factorial Town being locked behind OmegaMon. But here it feels much heavier. I'm not saying it's a bad idea by itself, of course. At the end of the day, it's still a choice from the developers, but I personally think it's not an evolution of what they already made. It feels more like it limits the freedom given to the player in the first game. It will not be unusual to come across multiple Digimons which will tell you, I don't have anything to tell you, or this Digimon doesn't even look at you or something, and after a while it becomes pretty annoying. Whatever, sorry, I spoke too much. We kept training for the rest of the day, and now we are on day 5. And we wake up to a Digivolution. Black Toy Agumon turns into Gardevoir, our first champion level Digimon. Now, remember the discussion about next Digivolutions being fully shown immediately ruining the atmosphere? From in training level to rookie, you can see it. From rookie level onward, things are slightly different. You don't see the next Digivolution info, but you can unlock some during some little mini events. Every now and then, your Digimons can be scolded or praised, and when you do it, you unlock more informations. This is a huge improvement. It does not remove the mystery. On the other hand, you are finally being rewarded for being a good Digimon Tamer. Going back to Gardramon real quick, our starting move is insane! 1455 power, costs 1970, we physically cannot use it. Or can we? Remember when I said you can use order points to attack? Order points do not consume MP. It's beginning. Optimization. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, we rescue some other human beings. Say hello to Himari and Kota.
Even in the presence of a beautiful girl like me.
Sure you are, sweetie, sure you are. And they are accompanied by their partner Digimons, Salamon and Gilmon. And now we should go back to Digimon and try to understand what to do now that there are more human beings. But do you want to see a little taste of what's to come? Here, there are some very high-level Digimons. Okay, it's level 8, but for now, level 8 is very high, okay? And our Gardamon has a very powerful move. This means we can take advantage of it to kill them. Now, do you see those numbers in the stat increasement? Those are part of my plans. We will go back to them shortly, just to let you know that battles have been boosted tremendously from the first game. And very soon we're also gonna have a discussion about combat overall. Now, we have a champion level Digimon. What if we get a little revenge on Vmon?
Here I go! Don't hold back! You did it!
GG easy. Vmon decides to join the city afterwards, and I guess we can give the good news to Togemon, which thanks us by fighting. I swear, there is something wrong in this digital world, if every single thing has to be manifested through fighting. The fight is tough, but if you're able to reach 150 order points, you can unleash a special attack. Do you start understanding the power we have in our hands? We are immortal now! We are so powerful that nothing can stop us! But Gardramon gets sick, and we don't have any medicines to heal it, so it means from now on, Gardramon is gonna constantly lose HP and MP every single step. Day 6! Back in Floatia, Himari and Kota introduce themselves to Digimon, who has been building a device to detect Machinedramon. The problem is, finishing it by himself is gonna require a lot of time, so we need the help of Taumon, in the Logic Volcano. I'm kinda scared going to Logic Volcano, honestly. That's even tougher than the server desert, and our Gardramon is sick, so... Nah, Clearagumon is gonna clear it just fine. We are in a good position. Oh, for fuck's sake! Also, around here we recruit Palmon by giving some random fruits she wanted or something. But still, let's talk about the important part, sickness. Unlike the first game, sickness does not cause your Digimon to die. Sickness is gonna stay there until treated. It's gonna drain HP and MP constantly, which translates into... until, or unless you find a medicine, they keep staying sick. And guess what? The first access to consistent medicines is after we reach Taumon. Perfect. Hello there, I'm from the future. There are actually two semi-consistent ways to gain medicines right now. The first one is available from the start, but it's very luck dependent. The second one is a drop from Gotsumon in the server desert, but Gotsumon is level 7, so it's kinda difficult for now. Sorry for the interruption. I know it's gonna be tough, but if I spend all my money to buy some good items which restore HP and MP, maybe we can do it. Let's go. Welcome to Logic Volcano. Very visually appealing, honestly, but we have no time to focus on that. We have to reach Taumon. To give you an idea of the insanity of the developers, here there is a Meteormon, for example. Meteormon is an ultimate level Digimon! Do you see what I meant when I said outside of the starting area there are demons? To reach Taumon, we have to go through 3 different bosses back to back. First, there is Birdramon. Birdramon, for my experience, is the easiest one of the group, and it's also the most important one, because unlike the others, Birdramon is gonna join the city immediately. The next one is Meramon, and it's kinda the same thing. The real issue you may have in your run is Cubimon. Cubimon doesn't fight you immediately, there is a little quiz you have to overcome first. She's gonna ask which one of the 3 Cubimon in front of you is the real one, and in case you fail their little mystery, you are gonna have to face 3 Cubimon at the same time. And considering we are barely able to manage our victory against one single Cubimon, imagine if this was a 3 versus 2.
All right. Yeah.
Needless to say, without the power of Gardramon, we would have never been able to overcome so easily even a single one of these bosses. I think I remember vaguely how in my first run I had to train all the way to level Ultimate before even starting approaching these enemies. If anything, this shows you how early game, very powerful skills may be more important than stats. But we are almost at the end of what I would consider early game. You're gonna see. At the end, we are finally able to reach Taomon. Taomon doesn't want to help us immediately. First, he wants to verify that what we say is true. Because of that, he gives us an illegal seed, we have to plant it and wait 24 hours to check the results. The reason being, in the digital world there is a feature which prevents data corruption, and subsequently should prevent stuff like the seed from growing. In any case, remember when I said the Birdramon is in the city? That's huge, because now we already have autopilots to travel back home, now we have a way to visit late game zones very easily. A huge part of the time during the day is spent just walking around. With this we can optimize a little bit, even though the cost is kinda high for the current moment, so I would still prioritize walking to save more money. But the next day, day 7, after some training, it's finally time for Clear Agumon to digivolve. Say hello to Hugamon. This digivolution came at the perfect moment, because digivolving you lose sickness. And thank god if I was blessed by RNG, because Koromon, which each day can give you some items, finally gave us a medicine. That way we can heal Gardramon and we are back in action, baby! And how do we spend the day now that we have 2, strong champion level Digimons? Fishing. Yeah, I know it may seem weird to you that now that we have these powerhouses in our hands we just want to fish, but we have to wait 24 hours regardless for the seed, and no one is really rushing at us, so let's just fish a little bit. It's also gonna be relevant for later. And I didn't really keep track of time, because yes, in this game fishing consumes time, unlike the first game, and the seed finally grew up. And it's Venusaur flower, and they said it shouldn't be in this world, it's illegal. Is this a reference to Pokemon? Like, I know the flower can exist in real life too, but like, why of all the possible flowers available in the world they chose specifically the one which is on Venusaur? Day 8, where we have to report to Taomon what happened. Oh, come on! So, by the way, to explain how does this mechanic work, is our Digimon has a zone he does not like in the world, and it's fixed for each Digimon. We happen to gain the one Digimon which doesn't like Logic Volcano when we have to go to Logic Volcano, and before we unlock the Shop of Medicines! So, Taomon joins the city and wants to help Digimon with the device to deal with Machinedramon. Oh, actually, can I point out something I don't like at all? I can't stand every time they say Machinedramon, they say Machinedramon.
Then the Machinedramon issue.
Listen, okay, English it's not my first language, and I should be the last person to complain about pronunciation after all. We all remember in the past when I said rifle to say rifle, or when I said manor to mean manor, when I wanted to say flashlight. But this is a proper name, it's like calling Jessica Jessica. Now that Taomon is in the city, you will finally understand the first reason for which I wanted to fish earlier. By fishing, we got a Digikarp, and there is Renamon right here, which wants to cook something fantastic for Taomon Senpai or something, but whatever, I don't really care. We give her the Digikarp and she joins the city. And since our champions are very soon gonna be outdated for the zones we have to traverse, we spend the rest of the day in the gym for some training. Day 9! In here, OmegaMon digivolves to ultimate level, into our first ultimate of the 100 days, Blue Numemon. But wait, that's not the only surprise of today. Since we are gonna get many more Digimons in the future times, the city gets exponentially expanded. It gets so big that they give you a fast travel option to travel through the different parts of the city, and also to just admire it from a distance. The most important difference, now you can upgrade the structures in every single part of the city. Essential to get access to more features, and also it's a requirement for some Digimon recruitments. And these areas, which may seem particularly empty now, just wait until we fill them with Digimons. Our next mission is to go to the server desert because there is a Machinedramon. Cool. Huh? Wait, what? We don't even have 2 ultimate level Digimons, and the next mission is to go to a Machinedramon, a mega level Digimon? Do you know whenever they say, the difficulty spike in this video game is vertical, have you ever played Digimon World Next Order? You better lock the fuck in and understand very well how does the battle system work, otherwise in here you're gonna be pulverized. In any case, we need better skills. We need better Digimon skills. How do you unlock new attacks for your partners? Psh, very simple. You fight enemies which use those attacks, and hope. You hope that at the end of the battle, you get it. Yeah. Our Blue Numemon can use all the fire skills in the game, and there is a very good one we may try to get from Numemon. I chose Numemon first of all because it's the easiest one we get access to for now, and also because even in case we don't get the skill, we still gain some stats for our Cauldron. You see, the amount of stats you gain from a battle also depends from the stage of your Digimon. If you fight a champion level Digimon with an ultimate, there is probably not that many stats you are gonna get, but if you fight the same enemy with a champion, Day 10! Honestly, not much special happened today. We kept fighting Numemons trying to get new attack moves, and I think I can take advantage of this moment right here to talk about the combat system. In my opinion, it's flawed. Or at least, I think it's a downgrade when compared to what we had in Digimon World 1. The new option to give orders and the item menu pause the game, and I think this makes it lose much of the dynamism it had in the first game. I know it's just a choice of the developers, but I am not sure if it's an evolution, if it makes sense. Right now, and later on it's gonna happen much more, we keep interrupting the fight by using items, by giving orders and so on. And I swear, don't even try to say, just don't use those options if you are annoyed that it pauses the fight, I'm gonna throw hands. Because those same actions were already available in Digimon World 1, and you had to think about what to do on the spot. You couldn't just pause and relax, take your time to think about the plays or something. You were in the tension of the battle. And the other thing I don't really like is that, I mean, first of all, that the arena is just a simple circle in the most boring way possible, but okay, it was a game on PS Vita, let's not consider that. The fights are just gibberish. Like, for now you can still kinda understand what's going on screen, but later on, once we have like 3v2 battles, or 2v2 even, you are not gonna understand anything. You can bet on this. Whatever, my rant is over. Day 11! Back in the server desert, there is Greymon. Greymon apparently is sick and needs some sort of magma thingy from the logic volcano to be healed, so we just fetch the thingy and he comes to town. Now, Greymon is a good resource for the city, because it gives us a tent that you can use in the wild for a limited amount of times to restore HP, MP, and reduce tiredness. And also, I know we are still just on day 11, but I was starting to feel kinda scared to not have enough time to do everything, and that's why I chose we have to make at least one attempt against Machinedramon. While going in there, we were able to meet another human with a fantastic Numemon plushie. I swear to god, that's the cutest thing I have ever seen in my life. How is it possible that this thing is supposed to be like the most disgusting Digimon in the world, and instead it's the cutest thing ever? Apparently Kota wants to take on Machinedramon with his Yukimura, which is a Gilmon. A Rocky level Digimon versus Machinedramon. Yeah. No, relax. Gilmon is digivolving. It's gonna be a champion level Digimon now against a Mega. That's for sure gonna work, right?
You two! Leave this to me and Yukimura! But you digivolved.
This scene to me was particularly funny because I don't remember if they already mentioned it at this point of the game, but Himari and Kota are supposed to be some very good Digimon players in the real world. Dude, it's a champion level Digimon versus a Mega! What were you expecting? I mean, our battle does not go much better, honestly. Whatever, we start gathering some materials and use the builder. My goal in these 100 days is to get as many buildings upgrades as possible, also because they are required for the Digimons. The upgrades are many, and we have only 89 days left, so we must dedicate part of our days gathering materials. The builder should almost always be active. Day 12! And unfortunately, we wake up just to see that Guardramon was not able to digivolve to Ultimate and died. That's terrible, right? Now we have an Ultimate level Digimon and a baby. Our team is much more weaker now, because by the time the baby grows up, the Ultimate will die, right? Some may argue that this is the best situation ever. Basically, having an age gap between your two partners greatly helps in multiple things. First of all, in the gym training you get an incredible bonus. But also, do you remember the discussion I was trying to have in the past about gaining stats through battle? What better moment to do that than with an Ultimate and a Rookie? This is the most powerful way to make stats. Because remember, battles do not spend in-game time, and they last around 30 seconds regardless. While on the other side, gym training requires 1 hour, and it only works for one single stat each time. Do you see the difference? This is, of course, very grindy, and we are gonna do it multiple times in this playthrough, but it's the best way of training, which gives the most results and will allow us to get better stats. The only real thing you need to manage is the tiredness of your Digimon, but we have the tent, so we can sleep in the wild whenever we want. Day 13. Look at the stats of Gotsumon. Still a Rookie level Digimon, but much stronger than the generation of Rookies we had previously. And also by winning multiple battles, we can start saving some money. Money for now is important for traveling with Birdramon and to buy autopilots to go back home. Yeah, if it wasn't clear, fast travel is the most important thing in the game. Depending from who you fight, different stats may increase. It may be just one stat, maybe two, or maybe all of them at the same time. I would suggest to find a zone where there is a Digimon closer to an exit from the area. In that way, you fight, you exit, you re-enter, and you keep farming. And to add to that, I would also pick battles in which you are going 2v1, because it's just much easier. If there is only one enemy, you win faster, you know. And once you see that the stats are not increasing in the same way anymore, just change Digimon. The world is big, and there are multiple Digimons you can abuse for this sole purpose. Maybe you may even do it because of the particular drop they provide. What the fuck is that? It is time to talk about these, bigger Digimons. We can consider them mini-bosses. They spawn randomly in certain zones and are much more powerful than their normal counterparts. In a certain way, they can be used to check your current progresses. Are you able to take down a mini-boss? Well, in our current conditions, yeah. We were able to do it. We took advantage of the special moves. Special moves require 150 order points and deal great damage. You can even use both your partner's special moves at the same time if both have 150 order points. Also, there are some other important details related to special moves. For example, when you start using the special move, you are invulnerable to any damage until you actually start doing the special move. It may seem non-important, but let's say this game has some problems of delay after you start using the special move. Like, you start using it and then you have to wait a little bit before your Digimons do it, so it can come in clutch. And look at those rewards! Money, items, stats! Yeah, it's not too worth to fight mini-bosses, but it's very fun! And that's the important part. Now that we are stronger, Kabuterimon will join the city after a brutal fight. Also, I don't know if... I don't know why this is a thing, but it seems insectoid Digimons tend to speak screaming. Like, Kabuterimon is doing it, Kuwagamon did it already... What is this? Our exploration brings us to Mud Cape, one of my favorite zones of the game. A coast on the ocean full of abandoned pirate ships. Well, not really abandoned, but let's say they don't sail anymore. We are here for one reason, the same reason for which we fish fished previously. Machinedramon. By giving him some fish, he is gonna join the city and open the fishing pool. This zone is very important because now we can fish whenever we want without having to leave the city. So, I know this may seem a random thing to bring up, but in my last 100 days Digimon video I didn't do it. Can we talk for a second about the ecosystem in the digital world? Listen, I know we're at day 13 at 40 minutes of video, but I swear we're gonna speed up very soon. Like, okay, meat comes from the ground through agriculture, but there are actual fish you can get? Like, digital fish? Are they Digimon? Are they sentient? Can your fish mega digivolve into something else? Am I the only one who is thinking about the implications? I know that there are plants, but I never really think of digital plants as a real life form. Like, what's the difference between fish and Digimon? Moving on from philosophical questions, we spend the rest of the day training. And then you can see the result of one town upgrade. Upgrading structures give a new shape to already existing areas, changing the furniture, adding new stuff, making it look more prestigious, we should say. I'm not a fan. Listen, I know it may seem like I'm being a boomer, being like, back in my days this was better, but listen. Recruiting a new Digimon in the past meant seeing some concrete structures getting added to the city. It doesn't matter how irrelevant they were, there was still something new you could see in the city because you recruited someone. And that made you feel rewarded. That gave you a sense of progression. Here, buildings are just, are already available. You are just finding the Digimons to place in there, the workers, we may say. It feels different. The city is there already. I don't know. How do you feel about this? Day 14, and days are passing by a little bit too fast, honestly. That's why I started going through multiple areas, fighting different Digimons, trying to get new moves. We have to prepare the ground for the next generation. The more skills we have, the more tools we have at our disposal to deal with the bosses, and to deal with Machinedramon. Day 15, we get another new move from Numemon, and we buy a very important Tamer skill. Not only we have a new action command this battle called Guard, but this guard, which costs 10 order points, reduces damage taken by 100%. This is the strongest skill of the game. Right now, and later on even more, being able to nullify completely all the damage taken is the only possible way to win without grinding like a moron or using a million items. And it connects to how I feel battles become more static. Cause from now on, there is really no reason to not guard any attack you come across. Okay, some attacks are very easy and sometimes I refuse to guard because, like, whatever, we can just continue. But you always will have to open that stupid action menu, pause the game, guard, wait until the opponent is not attacking, remove the guard and start attacking again. I don't know, I don't like these, I'm sorry. And also we have a talk with Gamdramon and Zudomon. Apparently they worked together, but then one day Gamdramon wanted to make pancakes using his tail, and Zudomon said no. And Gamdramon got pissed? Whatever, they both come to the city. Also, our Gotsumon finally digivolves into a champion-level Digimon. Slightly different colored Gotsumon. You know, I think with this team, we may actually fight Machinedramon. Day 16! Numemon dies. God damn it! Our new partner is Tsukaimon, which can use dark element moves. And while in the current moment we already have a good amount of those, there is another one we may try to get. They are a DLC content. Two little Digimons that want to test their strength with you. The only problem? They are just strong as hell. This battle was legitimately made by Satan. If you happen to stumble upon them early on, you will lose. Fortunately, this is not the case, not only because we have some decently strong Digimon, but also because we have the guard. And I think in here you can really see how well it shines. Luckily, we got the move I wanted, Chaos Cloud. We won't necessarily use it, but it's more possibilities. Also, yeah, they have a phase 2 where they fight you a second time immediately, and we lose.
Crap! This is the worst!
But it's fine, we are gonna come back to them later, And also our Icemon gets a new move from Meteormon, and yes, if you were wondering, Meteormon is another slightly colored Gotsumon. Day 17! I lost the audio. I lost the audio. I had already recorded all the way to day 44, and now we have to restart from day 17. Whatever! My training spots brought me to fight Psychmon in the server desert, where there is also a Mega Kabuterimon Blue, which made some holes around here. What's the catch? You cannot see the holes. You are gonna randomly fall and come back to the starting area. Wow, very funny! But at least one of these holes contains a special item, which allows an ultimate level Digimon to digivolve into the mega level Digimon Gran Kuwagamon. There are multiple ways to get access to these items which allow you to digivolve into special Digimons, but they are not really that useful, and the only reason we are gonna remotely use them is only gonna happen much later into the game. Let's just remember that Mega Kabuterimon Blue wants to meet Gran Kuwagamon one day. Day 18! That's it. 100% guard, several days of training. We are ready to take down Machinedramon. Let's do this. The advantage we have is that the majority of his moves are kinda slow, and this gives us a decent window to guard. And on the other side, while there are some status effects in the game which prevent you from giving orders to your Digimon, fortunately it seems Machinedramon doesn't apply any of them. I was honestly very impressed of the amount of damage we dealt, despite being only one champion and one rookie. I mean, looking at this retrospectively, Kota must suck as a Tamer if his Growlmon died in a single hit.
Alright!
We won, and we gained a new powerful skill, Gigawatt Laser. But of course we won't be able to use it for a while. Machinedramon disappears and leaves behind Shoutmon.
I'm a little jealous.
Kota.
Kota? Is it all good? Did you hear me when I said you suck? Whatever, we are back to Taomon. Apparently, Shoutmon remembers he became a Machinedramon after meeting a human with a hat, so there is at least another human in this world. We are gonna call this human Mameo. And there are also some important revelations. Apparently, the Digivices we used to enter in this world were prizes from a tournament. Az, Himari and Kota all were part of the top 4. But the last person, the winner of the tournament, was Shoma Tsuzuki. Are Shoma and Mameo the same person? Also, Himari now has an Angevomon, an ultimate level Digimon. Back to recruiting Digimons! Apparently Angemon wanted to heal Hackmon from some sort of sickness or something, and Hackmon thought Angemon was gonna dissect him? We beat the crap out of Crapmon... The crap out of Hackmon, and they both joined the town. Our exploration proceeds deeper into Mod Cape, where we can see from a distance our first mega level Digimon we can recruit, Vaikmon. But differently from Machinedramon, we are nowhere near being close enough to defeat him. But in the meantime, we get a Digivolution into Zudomon. I want a 5-meter plushie of Botamon! Botamon is one of my favorite Digimons, look at him, he's so cute! Even when he's evil, From here, we reach Faulty Ex Machina, to unlock the Birdramon fast travel and to start looking around the environment. But there is nothing to do in here for now. Do you see what I meant before? It feels kinda weird gaining access to these incredible zones, but you have almost nothing to do in there for now. Like, you are gonna go there in later, just wait. I don't know if I'm being biased, because as I said, I am still loving the possibility of playing another Tamagotchi, but I don't really like this. Still in Mod Cape, we recruit another Mega Level Digimon, which doesn't require a fight, Marine Angemon, who needed his ancient spoon to scratch his back. Day 19. Suddenly, another Machinedramon has been detected in the server desert. You and Himari have to stop it, which of course means you are gonna stop it while Himari does something else. As we approach the location, we can see there is another human in there. Another human wearing some clothes you may kinda recognize from somewhere else. Agotsumon turns into Machinedramon, and Himari follows that person that we absolutely have never seen before anywhere else. Nah. Battle with Machinedramon! And you better enjoy it, because this is the last battle with Machinedramon in the whole game, except for the post-game. This Machinedramon is not stronger than the one we already fought, with the difference that we are stronger, so you can see kinda the difference in power level between the first encounter and now. And so, very easily, another Machinedramon bites the digital dust. We won, and in the meantime, Himari was able to catch the person that we have absolutely never seen before. I'm gonna explode. This person, Mameo, explains how the digital world was disconnected from the real world, and to leave it, we have to restore the connection. And the Machinedramons are caused by a virus left behind by a man Mameo fought. A man that wanted to rule the digital world. Should I really say it for the 2 people in the audience which still didn't realize this? Mameo is the character we played in Digimon World 1, and the man he's talking about is Analog Man! How can this moment become any better than this? Surrounded by Machinedramons, but how can it become any better than this? OmegaMon Zwart D! What is going on in this game? And he kills all the Machinedramon in one hit! Sorry, let's go back serious for a second. We get teleported to another dimension of the digital world, I guess, where Mirai explains us the situation. OmegaMon Zwart D is the Enforcer, the antivirus, the one who should prevent stuff like the viruses. The problem is that he is afflicted by a virus as well, and you have to work on an antivirus to free him. Back in town, we explain everything to Digimon and Taomon, and then Mameo gives us a prototype of the antivirus that seems to be able to slow down the process of turning into Machinedramon without being able to stop it. But one thing you may not realize is that in this moment, after fighting this Machinedramon, we just unlocked one of the most beautiful unlocks in the whole game. In the server desert, there is a Grappleomon which up to now ignored us. But now, by giving him some oil taken from Gargomon, he's able to open a new path. A new road which leads into the new sides of the world. On day 20, welcome to Oguino Wasteland. This zone is a giant battlefield between 2 different factions, carnivores and herbivores. I love this. Carnivore side seems more raw and wild, with many Digimons going around. Herbivore side instead seems more organized, more civilized. And the music! I think that by this choice of music in this zone, the authors are trying to convey the message that herbivores are evil! And then, just slightly on the side, there is another zone I love from this game. Bony Resort. A place where it doesn't matter what time it is, it's always night. There is always the moon shining in the sky. And oh boy, if we're gonna have a lot of stuff to do in here. But first of all, Wizardmon. Wizardmon recruitment is very easy, he just wants us to talk to Garurumon in the Oguino Wasteland. You go in Oguino, talk to Garurumon, go back to Wizardmon, and they both join. And even though right now we could explore all this fantastic night city or go back to Oguino, we have to first assist to an important cutscene. Kota is doubtful. Kota doesn't know if he's able to do anything. Himari has already an ultimate level Digimon. We defeated Machinedramon. He did nothing. Grolmon would love to be able to help Kota more, but he too is suffering from being so weak. And that's all we're gonna know for now. Back to the exploration, we can actually take advantage of the Wizardmon we just recruited. Wizardmon is able, each day, for free, to bring you to a random location, fixed for each day. And we use that to reach a faulty Ex Machina. Why are we here? Because it's finally time to connect the zones. Gardromon needs some help, so we travel all the way to Oguino and we go to another side of faulty Ex Machina where there is Agurumon, and Agurumon helps us connecting the faulty Ex Machina in here with the faulty Ex Machina on the other side. Congratulations, the zones are all connected now. And they also both join the city. Day 21, in Mod Cape we meet Stingmon. Stingmon wants us to deliver a letter to Mega Kabuterimon, and no, I know what you may think, we already met Mega Kabuterimon, no, that's Mega Kabuterimon Blue. And back to the city. even Himari is having some doubts. She doesn't know if we're gonna be able to make it, if we'll go back to the real world, nothing. But we don't have time for that crap, let's go back to Oguino! We can finally accept multiple fetch quests from the various citizens. In a zone full of carnivores, of course, every single quest is gonna be about finding some meat. And there are different types, someone wants normal meat, someone wants rotten meat, someone wants very well done meat. They're gonna be relevant later, but I think we may start to gather more money. That's why, in Bonnie Resort, we reach this house right here. Inside, there is a Wizardmon, by himself, all alone. And this Wizardmon is very important, because the amount of money he drops after losing is honestly decent for our point of the game, and it's not even that hard of an opponent, especially for our current party. Which means you can keep entering and exiting the house and fight over and over again Wizardmon until you are satisfied. And oh boy, we kept going with that. Day 22! We are still in Bonnie Resort, and it's time to recruit more Digimons. Toy Agumon in here is missing a Lego piece, and they cannot say Lego in this game, but it's clearly a Lego. And you know how do you solve this quest? You move a couple of steps away, and there is Monzemon, which is his friend, and he gives you the piece, and they both come to town. Okay, that was weird. Like, why putting them next to each other? Like, can you create a little bit of... Oh, okay, maybe you don't want to waste time, but then we had Wizardmon and Garurumon, what... I don't know, whatever. Following the road, we also reach a digital graveyard. Here we meet Skullgreymon. We fight him, he gives us a ring, and then joins the city. This ring is gonna be important for later. And also there is a Numemon, which supposedly was playing hide and seek, but... and joins the city. Okay, back to the city. Himari is at the limit. She can't take it anymore. She wants to go back home, and leaves desperate. It's not even the only one. Even Kota decides to leave. He's weak. He feels incompetent, not able to accomplish anything. The reason for the burst is that every single Digimon in Floatia resulted positive to the virus. It means this city is a landmine, which can explode at any moment and turn into a land of Machinedramons. Our next mission is to talk to them and make them come back to the city. And we start by faulty ex machina with Angevomon. She was on the verge of getting transformed by the virus and becoming a Machinedramon. But fortunately, by beating the crap out of her, and using the antivirus of course, but beating the crap out of her, we're able to save her. We also discovered that the reason for which Himari had that reaction is because she has sisters. They don't have a mother or a father. She is the one which takes care of them. But at least seeing us beating the crap out of Angevomon made her come back to her senses. Now she's in full resolution and Angevomon digivolves. Say hello to Machinedramon. On the other side, on Mod Cape, Kota is training Growlmon to the point of exhaustion, and he is taken by the virus. Even though, thanks to the antivirus, the virus does not lead to Machinedramon. Instead, we have to face Skullgreymon. Okay, with all due respect, we already fought a Skullgreymon of a much higher level than you, please, go the hell away! After this battle, it is revealed that Kota actually feels empty in his life. And though in here he could have been the strong person he wanted to be, he decided to abuse his partner. He took all the wrong choices, but he feels sorry. He feels ready to redeem himself. These story events were really good. Oh wait, there is something else. We see someone in the darkness. Someone talking about other uses of the virus. Okay, as I was saying, these story events were very good. Don't misunderstand me, they are nothing revolutionary or original, but being able to see the struggle humans have to face in this new world is something which fascinated me since I started watching the anime back when I was a child. And honestly, and this is just my personal thing, I do not care what the story says. In my mind, it will never be only the antivirus fault to have the Skullgreymon battle. It will also be connected to a reference to Tai mistreating Agumon and turning it into Skullgreymon. Back to recruiting, we finally give the Ring of Skullgreymon to Garurumon, which joins the city. And look, we finally have a Mega Digivolution! Say hello to Metal Sidramon! Oh, look at him. he's so majestic, I love him! Day 23! As you can see, we also have a black Garurumon. Why do we have him? Because now, by fighting these two little cute Digimons called Terriermon and Lopmon, we can learn one of the strongest moves for the Dark type. Hide and Seek. Not only it deals incredible damage, but it's AoE. It attacks every single Digimon in the arena. You know what does that mean? It's time to farm Tamer points. To explain the dynamic, each battle gives you a certain amount of Tamer points based on how many Digimons were defeated and which Digimons were defeated. The point is, stronger Digimons only give just a couple more Tamer points than weaker Digimons. What I'm saying is, prioritize quantity over quality. Do you remember the Wizardmon? After fighting him, outside of the house, there are also some toy Agumons, 3 to be precise, and by defeating them, which requires 10 seconds by using hide and seek, we get over 100 Tamer points. This is the way we are gonna use to farm. But before doing that, we answer some questions from a quiz of Terriermon and Lopmon, which then joins the city, and then, in Mod Cape, Piledramon joins the city as well. Piledramon is another great unlockable for the city, and we will actually use him later on. Day 24! With the Tamer levels we farmed, we now gain more beats from the battles and have way more chances to drop items. We may say that the investment is slowly gonna pay for itself. Dropping items is also good, because while we could grow meat in our city, we can still drop meat from Oguino Digimons. In this way, we can proceed with the quests. For example, the Jeremon in Server Desert drop rotten meat. With those, Goblimon joins. This is also the day in which we potentially obtained the most important upgrade of any city building, the Dojo upgrade. It is important because with this, we can lock Digivolutions we don't want. What happens if you fulfill simultaneously the requirements for 2 Digimons you can Digivolve into? Well, now it's not even a question, because we can just lock the Digivolution we don't want. In this way, our chances of manipulating the Digivolution are even bigger. For the next main story event, we have to fix a cable in Faulty Ex Machina, because with that we can transfer the antivirus to all the digital world simultaneously. But should we? I mean, while there is the quest in here, all the Digimons which were present in the area are not here anymore. And do you see that it's full of materials? Listen, let's wait a couple of days. We can collect some materials each day, and then we're gonna do the mission, okay? Day 25! Waiting for us in the starting area there is a new Digimon, Etemon, which wants us to retrieve a battery for his microphone. How do we get repaid? He joins the city and sells crypto. I mean, it's digital assets, technically, so... Selling crypto in Digimon World before GTA 6. Listen, we have one Mega level Digimon, and there is a Volcano in there. What if we actually try to fight him? In this way, I can show to you the beauty of a mechanic we only saw at the start of the game, and then never again. EXE Digivolution. As long as you have at least one Mega in your team, you are allowed to do EXE Digivolutions. And these can have a lot of different outcomes. It's almost a surprise, you never know which Digimon may come out of there. The only thing you know, it's strong as hell. You technically have access only to one EXE Digivolution per day, but I mean, in front of this, who even needs more? Volcano falls to the ground, joins the city and gives us his own chalice, an old item he held on to since the times he was a great pirate. And by giving this to Demidevimon in another cabin, Demidevimon 2 joins the city. We spend the remaining part of the day just farming money and Tamer experience. Very soon, our Digimons will die. We will have to part our ways. And that's also why, during nighttime, I just took some time to go around the city. It's weird. We are only at day 25. There is still a long way to go and I still have almost no time to think about the hell which is gonna be editing this whole video, but I'm already starting to think about when this adventure will end, and I will have to say a permanent goodbye to my partners. So I just took some time listening to the music. And then I grinded more on the Black Greymons in Bonnie Resort, day 26! In this day, I started some EX scenarios, which are DLCs, like Black Agumon and Black Gabumon. Extra missions with extra rewards for us to collect. First of all, Rina. She is accompanied by... I don't really want to spoil what is that, but we're gonna talk about it later, okay? She wants us to make 10 training sessions in the gym. Okay, we're gonna do them later. Another EX scenario is Machinedramon, a Digimon which seemingly lost his memory. To help him, we first have to fight a Growlmon which was tormenting him, even though the Growlmon said he didn't do anything. And then we retrieve a diary from Oguino. They talk about coming from a different world, a different dimension. And then we fight Machinedramon. I am honestly very curious to see where this scenario is going. This seems a very huge build-up. Are we gonna enter into another dimension? Are we gonna destroy dimensions? Are we gonna time travel? Are we gonna... The end? Huh? Is this a reference to some Digimon lore I don't know about? I have never heard of Machinedramon, Day 27? Honestly, it couldn't start in a better way, because where Garurumon finally digivolves into Black Metal Garurumon. Now we have 2 Megas as partners. The first part of the day is used to make the 10 training sessions Rina was talking about, and the reward is... nothing. Can I say I'm starting to hate this girl? Her next mission requires to gather 30 Digistalks, and it's gonna require quite a while. But for now, these next days are gonna go by very fast, because we have to store some materials. We are running short. Remember that materials refresh each day, and some materials are only obtainable from a couple of spots in the whole world. That's why you have to start storing them early on, or we will not be able to complete the city upgrades in the 100 days. Not only day 27, but also day 28 was completely spent entirely searching for materials. Despite having fast travel, we still have to walk all the way between the different material spots. It may seem fast, but I am not joking when I say these required more than 10 hours each day. On day 29, we fail a battle against a Numemon, and this allows me to show you my favorite mechanic of the game.
This can't be happening.
Yes, I don't know exactly how does this work, but sometimes when you lose, you can trigger EXE Digivolution. Unfortunately, you will not see much of this specific interaction with the EXE evolution, because we will barely lose in this game. Day 30, we do more material gathering and then a final money and Tamer experience rush. Do you know why? Because... do you hear that sound? Machinedramon is old. He's soon gonna pass away. To finish the day, I reach Volcano in the city, and by catching 3 black trouts in the water, he gives me a better fishing rod which enables the possibility to collect multiple fishes with one single catch. Day 31. Goodbye, Machinedramon. Teach angels how to mass murder some Lego pieces in order to gain experience points. But now, look at the stats on a baby Digimon! If this doesn't make you feel ecstatic, nothing will. Our new Rocky is Vmon, and he's gonna be built up all the way through day 31 and day 32, so we jump straight up to day 33, where we still keep training, but also recruit another fundamental Digimon towards my plan, Seraphimon. Seraphimon, which for now unfortunately cannot be used to its full potential because it's very expensive, is a chef in the restaurant. And all of his dishes provide incredible stat boost. Once we get closer to the end game, he's gonna help us a lot. And also we go back to Rika. Sorry, can I interrupt for a second? I find it annoying. I recorded everything in the audio, but I keep calling Rina Rika for some reason. Am I confusing her with the Rika from Digimon Tamers? We go back to Rina to deliver the 30 Digistalks, and the reward is... Did I already say I hate this character? And for the next and penultimate quest, we have to deliver a bunch of gibberish, honestly. Day 34, where there is something which has been bugging my mind for quite some time, and I have to express it. You know what's the core problem I have with this game? I still enjoy this game and blah 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 blah. Differently from the previous one, you can't fail. Like, even without trying, you will get very good stuff in each generation. And, okay, I may have some previous knowledge about what to do because I played the game one time before making this video, but I'm not talking about that level of knowledge, and I don't even mean, oh, you failed the requirements to Digivolve and now you have to spend 3 more hours to get another Digimon. Wow, time consumed, very funny. No, I'm not talking about that. Also because we can make the opposite discussion for this game. In this game, you cannot kill your partner early. You necessarily have to go through his whole lifespan, and later on, in a long time from now, we're gonna get one way to decrease the lifespan. I am talking more about how your Digimon seems to become stronger with each generation, and it's very difficult to make care mistakes. It's like taking care of your Digimon is not difficult anymore. It's played by itself. Would you believe me if I told you that it's very hard to make care mistakes in this game? I don't know. If you played the game, let me know what you think. Or if you're seeing it for the first time, let me know your first impressions. Sometimes I feel like I'm becoming very biased because I prefer Digimon World 1 or something, and you know, there is that whole shitstorm on Minecraft saying that old Minecraft was better and everyone says that you just grew up, and I kinda agree, and I'm scared that this may be the same thing, so I want to know your opinion if you can. In any case, just to clarify, I am still enjoying the game a lot, otherwise I would make a 2+ hours video on it. Currently, the antivirus cannot work simultaneously on different Digimons, because each Digimon is composed of different data. And are you ready to hear the greatest joke in your life? You know, to solve this data problem, who do we have to search? We have to find Datamon! To solve a problem of data. I may have written the script at 3 AM. On our way, we find another Digimon who is working for the villains, Metaletmon, and he is able to trigger the virus inside of Datamon to cause him to fight us. I remember I was stuck for a long time in this battle when I first played the game, and I was able to win only because I triggered a bug where my Digimon became immortal for some reason. I think it was caused because he died in the middle of an animation or something, so he stayed alive at 0 HP. In any case, after the battle, Datamon goes back to his senses and can help with the antivirus. What we have to do is to go to the server tower in the server desert to see if it's still functioning properly. And then I spend the remaining part of the day just fishing a little bit and selling my fish. Day 35! After witnessing to Veemon's digivolution into Gold Vidramon, we can go for our goal. In the server tower, of course something was going on, and there is a Titamon! If there is no tower, there is no way for us to spread the antivirus, and so Titamon wants to destroy the whole tower. After our battle, OmegaMon Sword teleports here and kills Titamon, but the damage is already done. We are not able anymore to spread the antivirus, and at the same time, the virus itself expanded across the whole world. Even in the ground. Here, it's when Lush, the girl we rescued, has a fantastic idea. If the virus is in the ground, then we just have to make the city float. Did you get it? Floatia, because now it's gonna float. Metal Garurumon died of cringe. Here I felt like, I have time, I want to experiment more, I want to enjoy the city, let's do other stuff. Day 36! I decided to train a full generation of Digimon just with the gym, to see how much less well they come out in the end. That's why for these next days, other than gathering materials every now and then, our routine is materials, gym, fishing during the night. Why fishing? Because by selling the fish, we can gain a good amount of money. In this game, it's very easy to self-sustain just by staying in the city. You gain a lot of meat in the fields, you can gain a lot of money from fishing, you can become rich. And I did this routine for day 36, 37, 38, which blessed us with Golden Rapidmon, and 39. Yeah, we are going much faster than before, but I feel like it's supposed to happen in a game like this. It's like in our previous 100 days videos. We already talked about what we are doing, we already explained the mechanics, and we developed the structures to make grinding possible. All that remains to do is to spend hours of our life trying to get fruits of our work. And on day 40, it's time to use those fruits. I took advantage of the fields in these days to produce all the meat necessary for each Digimon in Oguino. So now we can recruit for the city basically every single troop of Leomon, which is something I don't really understand. Oh, Leomon is the general of Oguino. There is a war and we are removing troops from the battlefield? Not that I'm against it, but I find it funny that the way in which we are helping, because Leomon told us, go ahead, get to be known by the others, and the only way to proceed the quest is to get them to the city. What? I think the idea was to show the conflict can be solved without fighting, but it doesn't really get shown in that way to me, because Leomon never even acknowledges that the troops are going away, so does he even know? And we also recruit Lilymon and Vegemon from the other side. Lilymon wanted some food, Vegemon was holding all the food for himself, they both join. Easy. And then there is this area. This area is... mwah! Chef's kiss. I just love the foreshadowing of being able to see Shine Greymon contained in the laboratory. It brings you to more questions. How the fuck did they capture Shine Greymon? Are the herbivores that strong? What are they hiding? What is their secret weapon? And then we go back, fight OmegaMon, and he tells us that there is a Shine Greymon in the laboratory. Wow, you don't say! Day 41, where Leomon digivolves into Rapidmon. First of all, we continue with the material gathering routine, having my eyes in particular on Dragon's Trident. In here there are multiple very rare materials which we want to collect. And then we explore one of the last zones I still never checked in this run. Absolute Zero. Which is a cute name for a Wasteland, and I know if you played Digimon World 1, in this exact same moment, you are having big feelings in here. It may not be identical to the one present in Digimon World 1, but god damn it if it feels special being able to walk in a zone like this and being able to rotate the camera. There is nothing on the walls, the area is the least decorated area I have ever seen, but I still love it. And I think this is part of the main factor, the main appeal of the game, which I already mentioned at the start, but we're gonna talk about it on day 42 during material gathering. In my opinion, this game is not a good game. It's a good Digimon game. Also because majority of Digimon games is... It's a game that you can appreciate a lot if you are a Digimon fan. It's full of weird or underdeveloped ideas, maybe it's also limited because it was on PS Vita, maybe. It's very grindy to some crazy levels which are able to overcome even Digimon World 1. And talking about grinding, oh, you will see later. I mean, even now we spend 10 hours a day going for materials, but still. And then some quests end up being kinda boring or incredibly repetitive, but I think it's also caused by the fact that there are really a lot of Digimon you can recruit. But stuff like Toyagumon and Monzemon being close to each other, like, where they necessarily have to be put so close? Did you put them close because having to travel around long distances would have been annoying? If that's the way in which you start developing a quest, I don't really think you should finish that quest, I don't know. So yeah, there is all of this. But then, you see Digimon, you see Machinedramon, Mameo, you see your partners going around with you. You can simply walk in the world while vibing to the music. I find it different from other games of which you have to be a fan of the series to appreciate it. Like, I don't need to be a part of Devil May Cry franchise to appreciate Devil May Cry 3. It's like this game was made only for those that have been with Digimon since their childhood. You know what I mean? And don't misunderstand me, this still does not excuse this stupid death animation. What the fuck was going on in the studios in that moment? I just realized I said in a very convoluted way that the game is mid. While I was blubbering, our first partner mega digivolves to Hercules Kabuterimon. Bancho Leomon joins the city after a fight, and we also recruit Gaugamon, which wanted to kill him in 60 seconds, and we did in like 20, so GG. Day 43, more material gathering, of course, and then I want to show you the power of my move on Hercules Kabuterimon. It's another AoE, and it's almost as powerful as hide and seek. Thanks to all the farming we did, now we have almost all the trainer skills which increase materials gathered. Day 44. We know there is a Shine Greymon in the laboratory. It is time to rescue it. With the most incompetent guard ever existed. Which tells us they are using the energy of this mega level Digimon to fire a giant cannon to destroy the Wastelands. Ah, okay, cool. Huh? And also he says the mastermind behind this is Machinedramon from the Bone Resort. And then joins the city like nothing happened. Wow, bro spoiled all the informations of a war which probably continued for multiple months and then joined the city. Chad. With Machinedramon being resurrected and no one else to stop us, we have to do it. We have to enter into the Thorn Palace and defeat the leader of the herbivore, Rosemon. But not today, day 45, where we get our second Mega level Digimon in the team, Volcano. It's time. Time to end all the stuff at Oguino and raid the Rose Palace. This zone, where we will go back very soon because it's kinda important for Tamer experience, is also the last corridor before Rosemon. And we have to deal with the Supreme Guardian, Hercules Kabuterimon. Hey, I have one too, and it's much stronger, okay? As you may have noticed, we did not train seriously for the majority of the lifespan of this generation, and yet we are still very powerful. There she is, ready to shoot the cannon, gives us one more possibility to stop her, the queen of the herbivores, Rosemon. Honestly, this battle is a joke. I really don't understand how the hell they were able to improvise on Machinedramon in here, but it doesn't even matter, because in the end, we win. I mean, if we lost, we would have just come back here. She will never shoot the cannon regardless, you know that, right? And now she says she doesn't even hate the carnivores and didn't actually want to shoot the cannon. Yeah, of course, as if, yeah, that's the stuff I said when I was like 13 years old and I lost a match online in Minecraft or something. I didn't even care, I just lost a diamond sword, who cares? Bitch, shut the fuck up. But she also says to give her regards to Machinedramon, the one who was taking advantage of her for his purposes. Oh, and also, we steal a Rosemon pillow. Trust me, there is a reason, there is a real actual reason, don't think weirdly, okay? I gotta say, I still did not meet Machinedramon, but they are really hyping it so much. It seems like some 17-head mastermind. Almost like a secondary final boss for the game, from what they're telling us. If he's responsible for a whole conflict between two nations. We give the pillow to Antilamon because she wants to sleep better. A pillow helps you to sleep, right? Makes sense, okay? Stop thinking negatively. In the end, Leomon thanks us for saving his land and decides to abandon the land completely and joining the city. Can we talk about this for a second? Okay that we solved the problem, but we took away majority of the powerhouses of the carnivores. OmegaMon, Leomon are with us. What if Machinedramon comes back? What if other herbivores want to fight? But the most important thing, the Rose Palace is left abandoned forever. No one will try to claim the title to become an anarchy or something. This game won't elaborate more. No? Okay, who cares about possible twists of your story when you can just farm Tamer experience in the Rose Palace? These three Woodmon give a lot of Tamer experience and also a lot of money, so they are the perfect candidate. And on day 46 we continued farming until we finally leveled up and got all the Tamer skills for materials. You know what that means? We spend the entirety of the day outside gathering more materials. Soon. And also we find Machinedramon, a researcher which wants to fight us and then joins the city. Day 47. Lots and lots of materials since we are running very short. And also, I start exploring something which I never even touched in my other run. The entertainment area and specifically the arena. In here, you can take part into some scripted fights with special restrictions, which don't affect your partners but doesn't even actually leave injuries on them. You can consider them a series of challenges which go progressively hard to test your partners.
You did it!
We just bullied some toddlers with a hydrogen bomb. Yeah, maybe we're a little too overpowered for the first fights of the arena, but later we're gonna suffer, no worries. One thing I appreciated though is that they took advantage of some of these battles for some references. For example, Biggest Dreamer is the name of the opening of Digimon Tamers, the third series of the anime, and who do you fight in here? Guilmon, Terriermon, Lopmon, Leomon and Renamon, which are the starters of some of the protagonists. In Cyber Sleuth Challenge, you fight the 3 initial Digimons of Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. They were definitely able to put a smile on my face in here. Day 48! More material gathering. Day 49! The city is ready to float. We just have to cut off the last one cable. And of course Metaletemon tries to stop us, but with no use. And the city finally flies in the sky. I am gonna make a joke no one has ever done in history of histories. Are you ready? There is an impostor among us. One of the Digimons in the city was infected by an upgraded form of the virus, and apparently they all suspect of Mameo. I can't believe it. That joyful kid that saved the digital world after catching a glimpse of the power of a megalomaniac like Analog Man and seeing what he could try to achieve in the digital world, Mameo started exploring the possibilities of viruses. Maybe he even took advantage of us, pretending to play the part of the good guy just to double-cross us. It's over. My childhood is over. The game is over. Yeah, it was all staged. Come on, did you really believe Mameo would have been the traitor? Okay, but jokes aside, I would have actually liked it. Imagine if Mameo was effectively going through, I don't know, a crisis in a similar way to Himari and Kota. But differently from them, he didn't have anyone to help him. He had to resort to a virus left behind by Analog Man to achieve his goals. It's just an idea, but it could have been fun, no? All this facade was made to capture the real impostor in Bonnie Resort. And turns out the impostor is... Metaletemon? Okay, well, whatever, maybe it's just someone sent from the real impostor to do something. Metaletemon is caught in a trap. A cage. A normal cage. Eh? A cage? To block a mega-level Digimon? Can't he destroy it? Nah, maybe it's like some digital super powerful cage or something which Metaletemon cannot even destroy. But what he can do is to call OmegaMon Sword D for one last battle. And I remember vividly this being another terrible roadblock in my first run, because I still had no idea about the power of guard, and I didn't even really grind that much long enough to make my life easier, so... yeah, let's say I almost quit the game at this point, but in here we win very easily. Metaletemon, you have arms, do you see those? Start punching, do something, goddammit! Every hint points to the real traitor, Lush. Okay, I'm gonna explain this now because we would have to explain it later, but it's not really that big of a plot twist. Lush is not actually the traitor is her plushie. In there is a sort of way to communicate everything we say to the real villains, so whatever, it's just, you know, the usual traitor among us story for no reason, really. 3 gates appear, and a human and 2 Digimon come out. The boy's name is Shoma, and his 2 partners put KO OmegaMon Sword D in a single shot. 2 partners, and he is the real villain. Just like we, with 2 partners, are the real hero. Shoma explains the purpose of his plan, using the virus to slowly make the barrier which separates the digital world and the real world collapse. All in one, combined dimensions, create chaos. The ruler of the new world. OmegaMon Sword D is fundamental for the plan. That's why they take him and then leave. And we farm more materials. Fortunately, we have a way to counter this plan. The Project Reincarnation. You can imagine it like a reset of the digital world, removing all the possible traces of the virus. But for this, we need OmegaMon Sword D. And you know how to do that? By bringing more people to town, of course! You know what happened? I have already enough population to already skip this part and go to the next story event. Funny. So, Lush is a Digimon? Whatever, we locate where Shoma is and discover he's in the Infinite Cauldron. Day 50. We're halfway there. Oh! More material gathering, and Volcano is almost at the end of his life. And on day 51, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm so ready. On day 52, Hercules Kabuterimon dies. And now we can raise the 2 standard Digimon. The 2 Digimons which inspired the generations of children who watched the original anime. We may call them the Pikachu of Digimon. Agumon and Gabumon. Using all the knowledge I gathered and showed you through the past 50 days. Using the restaurant, using the Tamer skills we got, using the new moves we have for our Digimons, we start stat training. On day 52, day 53, where we also refight once again against the black counterparts of them, and this time finally complete this little section. And then, even on day 54, when our Agumon finally turns into Greymon. Back in Absolute Zero, we can recruit Ikakumon, which wants to eat food prepared from Seraphimon, and Gabumon, which feels cold and needs a new pelt from Garurumon. And I think this is partially a reference to the anime when Gabumon removes his pelt to keep Matt warm during the night, and then Gomamon wants a photo from Machinedramon. Not even a photo of the 2 of them together, just a random photo of Machinedramon. Gomamon is a stalker. In Mod Cape there is a new Machinedramon which gives us the photo and then joins the city. Day 55. We receive an interesting Digimail from Cormon about Justimon, supposed to be the protector of the weak in Faulty Ex Machina. But we will ignore that for now. We give the picture to Gomamon and he joins the city as well. And then we fight Match Gaugamon and win in less than 60 seconds to recruit him as well. Match Gaugamon is an ultimate level Digimon, which means there is another Gaugamon waiting for us in the world to be fought. But not now. By looking around, we also find a cell phone of Rapidmon's property. We give it to him, and he joins the city in return. Last but not least, in Faulty Ex Machina, there is another battle waiting for us. Yes, the black variants of Agumon and Gabumon. Those we defeated in Mod Cape are back. Do you know how does this play out? We fight, they lose, a rematch, they lose, Digivolve, which means now they are Black Metal Greymon and wear Garurumon Black, and then another battle! What the I love when an enemy is so pissed off that they fight you again, and then even Digivolve to gain enough strength to win. It's like Vegeta turning into Super Saiyan because he's angry. My stomach hurts. So, day 56. Gabumon finally Digivolves to Garurumon, and the road to Infinite Cauldron is now shown to us. And you may be having huge feelings. And I would too. If this was not spoiled in the literal intro of the game! I swear to God, I saw it even in my very first run of this. Why would you show Kota with Gallantmon behind him in Infinite Cauldron? Mount Infinity from Digimon World 1, but it's called Infinite Cauldron in here. What the fuck are you doing? And you know what? Like I did in the first video, what if we don't use items in Mount Infinity? After all, come on, the first boss is a Devimon. How difficult can that be? It's 6 Devimons.
Crap! This is the worst!
Wow, what an incredible idea to make Infinite Cauldron with no items, right? Yeah. I think we need to do some work. Day 57! Materials, of course, and then training. And also we did a couple of extra battles in Logic Volcano to recruit Omnishoutmon and Arresterdramon. Day 58! More materials and training, waiting for more Digivolution in the ultimate form. Day 59! Another attempt at Cauldron, and remember, still no items. We failed, but I think it was pretty equal. I feel if I had a little teeny tiny bit more stats, we would have won immediately. Today is also a special day because the fishing pool was upgraded to the max level, which means money. Honestly, it was pretty decent as a money farm, not as good as just fighting Digimons because that literally requires no time, instead fishing, remember, in this game consumes time, but still good nonetheless. Day 60. The only relevant thing done today was recruiting 2 Digimons. But it's not just any Digimons. It's 2 very important Digimons for our purposes. OmegaMon and Garurumon. You know what I don't really understand? They have some lines in which they pretend to be our old partners and want to test our new ones, and I'm like, I don't know, should you really pretend to be someone else's dead Digimon? That doesn't seem that good. So we are gonna politely tell them we didn't like the joke by beating the shit out of them. These are potentially the hardest battles so far. We deal almost no damage with normal attacks, and if we accidentally don't place a guard, the damage is gonna be incredible. We may consider this the beginning of the end in terms of the combat system, in which it totally devolves into being just a guard spam, and then reaching 150 order points to use the special attacks. You know, I don't know if from now on I'm gonna say anything positive about the combat system, so I want to say something positive now. The victory animation in which the enemy Digimon rotates in the sky is cool. Yeah. So we recruit OmegaMon and Garurumon. Day 61... a new Digimale? Justimon is a bully? Whatever, it's time to go into the infinite Cauldron! With our new partners, of course, Devimon Force. And not only that, we also recruit multiple Digimon on our descent. Machinedramon wants some restoring items, very easy. And before continuing with the list, GaruruMon digivolves into OmegaMon. You know what does this mean? In the Digivolution Dojo, Machinedramon has a very special function now that we upgraded buildings. You can fuse your Digimon with any Digimon in the city. And do you remember, we just recruited Garurumon? Yes. Now, we can fuse OmegaMon and Garurumon to create our first Omnimon. This disables permanently EXE Digivolutions while this Digimon is alive. But I mean, it's an Omnimon. Let's continue with the list. Okuvamon wants to fight, and he too talks in caps. What's the problem with the insectoid Digimons and the screaming? Lady Devimon is bored, and so automatically joins, and Sakuyamon beat the crap out of us and then joins. But there is one last encounter I did not mention. An encounter with a couple of Digimons. Black OmegaMon and Garurumon Black. Yes, those little teeny tiny Rokis which accompanied us from Mod Cape all the way to Floatia Ex Machina are now waiting for us in the Infinite Cauldron, in their mega forms. This battle was honestly not that difficult. The only real problem is that Garurumon is still not able to deal decent damage, but on the other hand, GaruruMon is owning it. Plus, they are already at level Mega. They cannot digivolve again. Or can they? Why do I speak? Okay, fortunately they're able to maintain the fused form only for like a couple of seconds and then they go back, but can you imagine if after fighting 2 mega level Digimons you had to fight Black OmegaMon? In any case, we reached the core. We reached the end of our journey. The place where Shoma is trying to convey all the energy to break the barrier. They unleash multiple Dragonoid Digimons against us. Is this a little callback to the GaruruMon battle in Digimon World 1? There is even GaruruMon in there, I saw it. But here is where our friends Kota with the newly digivolved Gallantmon and Himari with Machinedramon are gonna stop these Digimons while we proceed. And I would love, with all my heart, to be excited, but if we turn around they are just staring at each other. It was made for PS Vita. It was made for PS Vita. It was made for... At least we can fight the 2 partner Digimons of our nemesis. And I remember this battle too was kind of a roadblock for me when I first played. And honestly, why? We are... Boom. They lost the battle, but not the war. The only thing they had to do was to hold us in here a little bit longer. All while Shoma finishes the process which is gonna combine the worlds. They are sure they already won. Also, real quick, can I say that the voice actor for Samudramon was the only voice actor in this game which I genuinely think put some effort?
Light my blood aflame! Lead my body in a dance!
I am very sorry to tell it, but up to now, all the dialogues, even in very tense moments or important moments, have been pretty garbage.
You made it in time.
Really not the time, but whatever.
Come on! We're in the final dungeon, we have to save the world! I don't understand how they cannot put in their voice the importance of a moment like this. Machinedramon is having the time of his life on the other hand, look at him! I don't know what to say, whatever. Let's go into the final room. Here we are, in front of the one man which wants to combine the worlds. Shoma Tsuzuki. Himari and Kota are able to reach us for this, but their partners are tired. We are alone to face the final threat of this world. Shoma unleashes his true ace. Ultimate Altered Digivolution. The supreme life form. The one destined to break all the boundaries, while being fed all the energy from Digimons in the world which have been infected by the virus. Mirai begs us to stop OmegaMon Alter B, and so, the battle starts. And we immediately lose. Is it over? Is this the end of our journey? Or maybe we are missing something. We are missing a power which may help us turn the tables. Day 62. After more training, even OmegaMon reaches the Mega level, which means it's time, you guessed it, our second Omnimon. Remember, this situation would have not been possible without the dojo. You would only be able to make a single Omnimon from this. And now, we don't have access to the EXE evolution anymore. But I mean, do we really need it? Now we are ready for the final battle. Day 63. And I think this time I can finally make you listen to the final boss theme. The combination of Mount Infinity and Machinedramon creates the perfect conclusion to a story where you are guided by your own character to defeat the remnants of the virus left by Analog Man. In this battle also I realized something interesting. In his special move, OmegaMon first rushes at the opponent, shoots and then slashes. OmegaMon Alter B instead stands still in an ominous position and then slashes and after that shoots. Basically the opposite. I mean, maybe that's the reason for which it's called Alter B. The battle was tremendously tense. Also because, differently from almost any other boss we faced up to now, Alter B is able to apply status effects. You need to be perfect, you have to maintain the total control on the situation, you have to keep looking closely at OmegaMon Alter B. At the slightest sign of an attack, you must guard. Our OmegaMons are very strong, but unfortunately OmegaMon Alter B is stronger, and the smallest mistake may end everything. But I mean, we have come so far with our partners. If we didn't trust them with our life, we would not be here.
This'll show them!
We win. After the battle, Mameo arrives to use the antivirus program on Shoma. Yes, Shoma too was a victim of the virus. Shoma was getting directly controlled by Analog Man. In a way, we may say that up to now we fought against Analog Man. And with that, we are back to the city. The purge is ready to start, but first Shoma is a little bit regretful for what he did. He reveals that Lush was his original partner. Back in the tournament against Himari, Kota and us, he cheated. He altered the stats of his own Digimon to win. Feeling regretful, he tried starting a new partner, but he was already influenced by the curse, and so he wanted to get the ultimate Digimon. But in the end, no one is really angry at him. If anything, he was a victim like the other. We saw the effects the curse can have on someone. We almost lost our friends for it, and in the end, the door to the real world is opened. we can only exchange with our little Digimon one last goodbye.
Thanks for everything! And hey, I can't wait to see you again!
Ah, you know, this moment was magical. It feels like Persona 5. Our character still talks in stuff like battles, etc. But hearing our character talk in a cutscene... Good move. Good move. What? Do you think that's the end? Psh, it's day 63, we have plenty of stuff to do. Back to the digital world! It's also revealed that time in the digital world does not pass at the same speed of time in the real world. Himari's sisters didn't even notice her absence, for example. And Shoma has as a partner OmegaMon Alter B. I'm sorry, what? Weren't you supposed to, I don't know, take back Lucia as your partner? She was your partner. She's fine with it, discarded, abandoned, doesn't know what she is. No, it's fine. Okay. In any case, there is no time for useless questions. First of all, because we're almost at 2 hours of video, and second of all, because it's finally time for the post-game content. Shoma explains that during the reincarnation process, a Digimon entered in our world, a Digimon full of corrupted data. It turns out it's Caramon, a Digimon which in a very short amount of time fully digivolves to level Mega, becoming Diaboromon, to then infiltrate in our city. And in particular, in a new district of our city. Welcome to the Dimensional District. Now, this zone is only teeny tiny, very slightly important, you know, nothing too special. It's the most beautiful zone of the game! This content is mainly intended as challenge, but it also contains some of the best and most incredible rewards across the whole game. You have to move through different zones which resemble the Infinite Cauldron in a limited amount of time and reach the final room where there is the boss of the area. And in this case the boss is an ulterior form of Diaboromon, Armageddon. The battle is very hard, do you know why? Because this Digimon can use the strongest move of the game, or at least the strongest when used by the computer, Digidimension version 3. Do you know what's the problem, other than being incredibly beautiful? This move disables menus. No item menu, no move menu. This means as long as it plays out, you cannot guard anything, you cannot select attacks, you cannot heal, nothing. But, I mean, we have 2 OmegaMon, it's not that big of a deal, we win. After the battle, Shoma says that you are really amazing! Aww, thank you, Shoma-senpai. Now, let's get to business, there is a lot of stuff to do. But before doing that, I think I should give a final judgment on the story. It was okay. Maybe the main reason I'm kinda skeptical towards it is because they took a story which at the end of the day is very short, but they spread it across multiple sections where you have to recruit multiple Digimons. Don't misunderstand me, not even the first game has this incredibly elaborated story, but it wasn't trying to have one. You literally talk about Digimons going crazy at the start and then once you reached Mount Infinity. But in any case, it was fun. Do you want a taste of the post-game content? In Absolute Zero, for example, there are new Digimons. Cherubimon wants us to take care of Belphemon in the other room. This room was previously locked, but now we can enter and fight with one of them. Oh, that's so cute! Dog. Do we really have to fight? Don't be confused by appearances, he's a bastard. After the battle, Belphemon and Cherubimon join the city. We will talk about Belphemon in a second. And also, always in Absolute Zero, there is our first battle against one of the most gorgeous Digimons of this game, Lucemon, a member of the 7 Great Demon Lords. But he still does not join the city. Day 64. A Digimail says that someone is putting trash in the lake, and Megasidramon nearby, mind you, this Megasidramon is not the Megasidramon we recruited for the city, says he didn't do it. Now, why is Belphemon very important? Because in the Dimensional District now we unlocked another dungeon. You are able to enter in each dungeon once per day, and it's very important for you to do it because materials! We are starting to miss only the city upgrades which require the most amount of materials, and especially the rarest one. So these places are gonna be very important. In our routine we have to start periodically entering in these dungeons. But as you can see there are multiple dungeons, and we only have access to 2 of them. which means the next step is to unlock all dimensions. Day 65, we are finally able to clear the dimension dungeon with Belphemon. Oh, remember the very cute Belphemon we fought? Yeah, he's this now. Are you still feeling it cute? Well then, I think we can recruit more Digimon for the city. In the server desert there is a Garudamon which does not want us to touch his materials, and bro, explode. Then a Grankuvagamon attacks us because why not? And after recruiting Grankuvagamon we can go back to the Mega Kabuterimon Blue. And by showing him Grankuvagamon Senpai, he's gonna give us a Digivolution item. We will not use it, but thanks. In Oguino Wasteland, I forgot to recruit Shine Greymon, and yeah, he joins just by talking, because we solved the conflict. A very curious one, and I want to talk about it more, is Piedmon. Piedmon wants to play hide and seek. He's gonna hide through Bonnie Resort, and we have time until the end of the day to find him 3 times. And honestly, this is not that simple. Okay, when you go near the area where Piedmon is, the game is gonna tell you, oh, Piedmon is here, but he's still in some decently hidden spots. And also, after having 1 million Digimons where the quest is either fight, or fetch quest, or go from one Digimon to the other, this is kinda refreshing in a certain sense. And so Piedmon joins the city. Last but not least, there is one of my favorite Mega ever, Venom Miotismon. And after a tough fight, he too enters the city. In Faulty Ex Machina there is a Metal Mamimon which wants us to stop 2 Digimon fighting, a Metal Greymon and a Metal Tyrannomon. And then, do you remember Justimon? The one we received some Digimails about, which apparently is a bully, but he should be a hero which protects justice or something. He fights us, and he is weak as hell. He's supposed to be a Mega level Digimon. Eh? There is something fishy going on. Day 66! We get another mail from that bully of Justimon, and once we're on the place, we realize the problem. Justimon didn't do anything. It was a Hyugamon which sent a mail to us from Justimon and to Justimon from us. Hyugamon wanted me and Justimon to fight. Justimon joins the city. We will never talk about that Hyugamon again, okay? Metal Greymon and Metal Tyrannomon were still fighting, but they decided to fight us for some reason, and then they joined the city and even Metal Mamimon joins, so everyone is happy, right? Still here in Faulty Ex Machina, there are also some sewers we can explore, and in particular fight Nanimon and Sukamon to make them join. And I mean, they were supposed to be champion level Digimons, they are also the Filth type, which is like the least powerful type in the game. I will regret having said this in a while. And after all these very easy recruitments, by going back to Absolute Zero, we can witness to the real deal. The first hard fight of the post-game. Lucemon Satan Mode. I don't know about you, but I love him. Everything from the design, to the moves, to the special move, everything is majestic. I think I know who is gonna be the successor of the OmegaMons. Plus, with him in the city we unlock another dimension in the Dimensional District. Z Dimension is much bigger than the others and contains multiple Mega level Digimons, including OmegaMon Zwart and Blackwork Greymon. And also contains some poop Digimons like Platinum Numemon, for example. You know, I saw some theories saying that this OmegaMon is of course the OmegaMon from our 2 rivals in the EX scenario. And I mean, nah, I think if they really wanted to make this, there would have been at least, I don't know, 1 line of dialogue or something. Also, nearby there is another Blackwork Greymon and another Black Metal Garurumon, so like, can't they fuse? And then we also do some recruitments in the Infinite Cauldron. First of all, Shine Greymon is waiting for us. He wants to rescue a Digimon called Chaosmon. On our way, we meet Mega Kabuterimon, so we can give the Stingmon leather. Do you remember, like, day 15? I don't know. It was a lot of time ago when we met Stingmon in the Mod Cape. Finally, after 1 million years, we found Mega Kabuterimon. The only question is, what the fuck is Mega Kabuterimon doing in here? And also we recruit Mega Gargomon, which requires fighting Rust Tyrannomon, which joins the city as well. With Rust Tyrannomon, we unlock Dimension T. Dimension T is a mess, and it seems to have a compulsory mini-boss, which is something I don't really like. Because in stuff like Dimension Z, you can skip it, but okay. Even though, look, there is Chaosmon in the corridor, and ooh, it gives you free stuff when you talk to him. We will talk about this very soon, but first of all, in a random house in Bonnie Resort there are 3 of the 7 great demon lords. And this battle right here, this battle in particular, is the demonstration of what I meant when I say that the battle is unfortunately flawed. And I dare any of you to try understanding what's going on in this battle. There are multiple attacks on screen, enemies start doing some special moves every now and then. It's so... It ends up being so confusing to the point where it's not fun, really. You just spam guard and then spam the special moves when you have time. Nah. The last important Digimon we need for the dimensions is right here, near the end of Infinity Cauldron. You see, in here there is an Imperial Dramon Dragon mode waiting for us, and wants to fight. This was kind of tough, because our normal attacks deal almost no damage, we have to rely on our special moves. But at least we won, and he can join the wait, what? Oh, no. Apparently he turns to fight mode and fights us again. Okay, honestly, difficult, and our items are starting to be kinda lacking, but at least we can continue, and he joins the He turns to Paladin mode and fights us again! This, maybe, done back to back, is the hardest battle in the whole game. Not in terms of stats, I can imagine with max stats you destroy him, but in terms of having 3 bosses back to back, very powerful, not the most powerful, but they are gonna make you sweat. With him we unlock Dimension E. Now all the dimensions are unlocked. And you may be wondering, why did we do this? I mean, first of all, because we can get some Digivolution items by defeating bosses, and that's gonna be useful later. Then there are materials, as I said. But did you notice there are some empty zones around here? We need new partners. Day 67. There is no better way to start your day than to beat up a stupid idiot which puts trash in the sea. In this case, the Machinedramon near the lake. But now, let's come to serious business. Do you remember we recruited Lady Devimon? She has a very important role in the city. She sells devil chips. These are one of the only ways to reduce the lifespan of your Digimons. By giving them to them, they're gonna increase some minor stats, honestly don't ever use them if you're actually using them for stats, and reduce lifespan by 1 day each. You cannot feed them if your Digimons have like less than 1 day of life, but they can greatly help towards being able to cycle through different Digimons. Now the question is, who are we gonna get as our next partner? Well, you may notice there is a new Digi-Egg waiting for us. A Digi-Egg which brings us to a very important Digimon. Caramon is back. Day 68. Our second OmegaMon falls, and we can reach our next Rocky. Biomon? Oops. No, I made a wrong Digivolution. More chips, I guess. As I was saying, lock everything in the dojo because we can do it, except Numemon. There is just a problem. As you can see, our stats are nowhere near being close to those of Numemon. You may say, maybe you can try to grind, and while yes, we can defeat some powerful opponents, our Digimon doesn't seem to gain stats. So, maybe we have to give up. Oh boy. Day 69. There it is. Numemon. Yep, I don't know why this happens, but I think it's cause the in-training Digimons cannot turn into Numemon once their lifespan is over, and they must Digivolve, I don't know, and everything else is blocked, so yeah, we have a Numemon now. And Numemon is one of the strongest rookies of the game for the move pool available to him. Which means we can start grinding, we can start winning, and we also talk to Xvmon in the mod cape. He wants an autograph from Mameo, but he has no idea where Mameo is, so we have to talk to Vidramon in Absolute Zero to understand more. Yeah, for sure we're gonna do it every now and then, but for now, day 70! More training! Also we go to Absolute Zero and visit Vidramon. It's revealed that Numemon appears every Friday in Server Desert. Oh well, unfortunately Friday is very far, which means more training! Day 71! Finally Caramon digivolves into Chrysalimon. And then we keep training through multiple locations. We sometimes switch to where Garurumon in the church in Bonnie Resort because he gives us more money. But overall, everyone is fine, as long as you gain stats. And remember, we also can use the restaurant from Seraphimon to gain even more. Do you know what's paradoxically the hardest thing to get? Training mistakes! I think I already talked about this in the video. Caramon and his whole Digivolution line requires training mistakes to evolve properly. Paradoxically, Gran Kuvagamon is one of the best city upgrades because it gives you the possibility to, once per day, increase the training mistakes! Do you see? Even the developers knew it was gonna be hard to make mistakes, so they give you a way to do them! The point is, are they really mistakes anymore? It feels like they're just another resource, I don't know. But you know what? On day 72, after some training, we finally poop on the floor, after 1 million years where it was so easy to avoid it. And look, there is also another animation. I wonder how many people ever got to see this animation in their life, because who is gonna poop out of the toilet? It's so easy to go to a toilet! Oh, and remember, even if we don't have some mega level Digimons, we can still explore dimensions and take materials each day, we just have to dodge all the enemies or something. And Loosemon digivolves into Wizardmon. No worries, that's correct. Day 73! Do you see our stats? They are already higher or at least equal of the other 2 OmegaMons we had previously. And we are not even at ultimate level. I think it's time to talk about Royal Knights. The Royal Knights are 13 mega-level Digimons designated as the Guardians of the Digital World. Their founder is Imperialdramon, the one we just fought, and he's not the only one in here. Almost all the Royal Knights are scattered through the world, ready to be recruited. They all are intended to test the hero who saved the world, starting from Lord Nightmon. Lord Nightmon is also paradoxically one of the most important ones, so doing it as the first one is gonna be very beneficial later. Even though I feel kinda sad, like, okay, it's a 2v1, but we have champion level Digimons. I was expecting the Royal Knights to be, like, extremely powerful. Unless they are not fighting at their full strength, because they would just obliterate us. Lord Nightmon joins. And then, by entering once again into the pink house, there is not a Royal Knight, but someone else very important. Myotismon. Do you remember? Myotismon? The one who manipulated Rosemon to fight against the others in Oguino? The one who could have destroyed a whole chunk of terrain just for his own purposes? What's gonna happen now? Are we gonna fight him? Are we gonna clash in an unstoppable battle for 1 million years? He wants us to retrieve his umbrella from another Digimon. Wait, so we're just gonna completely ignore all the story about the responsibility for being the war in Oguino and other stuff? We're gonna ignore it? Okay. While going for the umbrella, I also fight another Royal Knight, Leopardmon, and he joins the city. In the Logic Volcano, Turuyemon is the responsible for stealing the umbrella from Myotismon, and after an easy battle, we give it to Myotismon and he joins. Can I say I am kinda disappointed? I was expecting more important stuff to happen with Myotismon, but okay. To end the day, we fight against more Royal Knights. In Infinite Cauldron, Dynasmon. In Absolute Zero, Gankomon and Jesmon in a 2v2 battle, arguably kinda difficult. In the Night Plains, Kentaurosmon and Craniamon, this time easier at least. And then, back in Logic Volcano, my favorite 2v2 of the game, OmegaMon and Alphamon. And it's not an easy battle. It's not an easy battle, and we lose the first time. But this wasn't a simple defeat. The anger from the loss was growing inside of my Chrysalimon, until, on day 74, he digivolves into Infermon. Now that we have Infermon, we can train in the definitive spot in Absolute Zero, the one place where your stats can go all the way to maximum, Metalsidramon. A spot only available after you finish the game. It's kinda difficult to clear it, but the stat increase is huge. And finally, after some training, we go back for our payback. OmegaMon and Alphamon recruited. Now, we still didn't recruit all of them, but you may be wondering, why do you want to recruit the Royal Knights specifically right now? You see, I think showing you may be even better than just telling you. in the Dimension District, in the various dimensions you can access. Do you remember those empty corridors? Now we have some new visitors. Each Royal Knight in here gives you some rewards. Either more time to explore the dimension, kinda mid, they increase the discipline or happiness of your Digimon, or they give you stat boost items, or directly boost stats for your Digimons. And do you remember Lord Nightmon? It increases lifespan of your Digimons by 12 hours each time. Unlocking the Royal Knights opens up multiple ways to be able to gain more stats quickly. Also remember, time does not pass in these dimensions, so you can explore all the dimensions each day to get whatever you want, whenever you want. Even though, maybe it's better to go back to recruitments, you know? Phoenixmon and Agunimon. Apparently Phoenixmon says that with humans there will always be evil, and we want to prove that Phoenixmon is wrong by beating the crap out of them. Okay. And Agunimon wants something similar, we fight, win, they both join the city. Day 75! Only 25 days until the end. And do you want to know the real tragedy of this? Currently, in real time, when I'm recording this audio, it's Saturday at 4:30 PM, because my organization skills are those of a monkey, and I have to edit everything for tomorrow. Can you please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see a part 3 on Digimon Redigitize, please? A little update from the Frapollo of the future. 5 hours from now the video should be out, and I'm in this point of the recording. I just wanted to let you know I did not sleep, I don't know how I'm gonna arrive at the end, I still need to put the music, see you later! Our days are almost completely used for a routine of the materials and then dimensions. And also, we did the quest of Minervamon. I hate this. Okay, so, in Logic Volcano there is Minervamon. She wants you to deliver a box in Absolute Zero. Okay, before proceeding, Wizardmon digivolves into Loosemon, and we recruit Lilithmon. But it's secondary stuff. Minervamon, we go to Absolute Zero, so Autopilot, Birdramon, fast travel to Absolute Zero, and find Dianamon. Dianamon wants us to bring a ladder to Minervamon, so Autopilot, Birdramon, Logic Volcano. Minervamon wants us to bring some other stuff to Dianamon because she didn't like the gift, so Autopilot, Birdramon, Dianamon. Dianamon says, Autopilot, Birdramon, Minervamon. Minervamon goes crazy because she did not like the gift once again, and then they both are in Absolute Zero and we fight both and we win! Why? They are both recruited. To finish the day, we start the quest for resurrecting Susanomon by talking to Kaiser Greymon in the server desert. Day 76. At least on Friday the restaurant offers a discount and everything is half price. Wait, it's Friday? Magnamon! Magnamon! Server Desert! Okay, honestly, he's the easiest one of the Royal Knights in my opinion. I think he's supposed to be fought as the first one, and that's why there is also the day limitation, because he kinda seems a pushover. I feel like even Agumon and Gabumon by themselves would kill him. Magnamon joins, and we deliver his ladder to XVmon, which joins as well in the city. In the captain's cabin, there is Beelzebon waiting for us to have a final deathmatch with life and death on the line, and no, he's gonna join the city afterwards. Now, I hope you have something like some tea or some milk you can drink nearby, because to digest what I'm gonna explain to you next is gonna be necessary. We recruit Metal Sidramon by fighting, and he gives us a ring. A ring wanted by Platinum Numemon in Bonnie Resort. We give it to Platinum Numemon, and he joins. And now be ready for the most stupid and nonsense quest of the post-game. We discover that there is an invasion of, I cannot even say it seriously. Numemon and Sukamon near toilets. They are controlling the toilets and preventing Digimons in the wild to poop, because they want Digimon to start pooping in the fields. And from now on, toilets are gonna be unusable forever. It's gonna get worse, guys. Also, during the night, we fight Mirage Gaugamon in the server desert, and he joins if we win in less than 30 seconds, and we win in like 15 seconds, so GG, easy. Day 77! Now, what we have to do is to go through all the toilets to fight an army of different Numemon or Sukamon. You know what's the thing which makes me laugh the most? They are stronger than the Royal Knights. Like, I'm not joking. Some of them are like level 70, and the moves they have. Do you know there is a Sukamon which knows how to use the DG Dimension? Where the fuck were you when OmegaMon Alter B was trying to merge the worlds, buddy? Were you pooping somewhere? So yeah, we spend the entire game going through toilets and understanding more of why they are doing this. Apparently there is a prophecy which says that Numemons and Sukamons are gonna die, and the only way to prevent this is with these actions, but then it's actually not true, and it's all a plan made by a Platinum Sukamon to be able to overthrow the King Sukamon in the sewers. Day 78, there is the final showdown with the King Sukamon, and it's revealed that Sukamon was trying to become the king and usurp the previous king. The prophecy is a lie, and everything is restored to normal, and they give us 50 Digivolution items to digivolve into Platinum Numemon. Okay, you know what? This was kinda repetitive because we just fought the same Digimon over and over, but it was funny at least. I like that they experimented a little bit with these quests. Yeah, okay, you approved. And the next one is even better. The 3 Gods of Ruin are revived, and we want to recruit them. If it wasn't clear, the Gods of Ruin are Taitamon, Samudramon, and Kuzuhamon. And on day 79, we get a new mail from Marina, the final test that we have to do to finish the training. Right on time for the occasion, Infermon digivolves into Diaboromon. Don't you remember who is Rina? No worries, she's useless. The next quest is to beat Ulforce Vidramon, another Royal Knight. To be honest, at this point, these are not difficult anymore. There is only one other battle in the game, non-Colosseum content, which I would consider still difficult for now, but not even that much. Every other battle is kinda doable. And then we do all the Emperor Greymon quest to resurrect Susanomon. In the quest is involved also Garurumon. Basically, we deliver items from one to the other, we find other items they need to create the perfect ritual to resurrect Susanomon. And once we do, he tells us one thing. Meet me at Logic Volcano. And so, we go there. Our Digimons are ready. Even more than ready, because right now, Loosemon digivolves to Mega and transforms into Loosemon Satan mode. This is gonna be the most fantastic battle of all times. He joins immediately without fighting. Oh. Well, that was anticlimactic. Or at least, the battle is not against him, it's against the last Royal Knight present in the game, Examon. I don't really have anything special to add to this. It was the first time I was able to see my Loosemon Satan mode in action, so I was pretty excited. Day 80! On this day, we finished the 3 Gods of Ruin quest. Taitamon recruitment is very easy. He just wants us to bring a Digivolution item into Mega to him, and then he fights us. We have plenty of those Digivolution items thanks to the dimensions, and then he joins politely. I honestly appreciate when video games give you the chance in the post-game content or some extra quest where like you can re-see some other entities which you fought previously and maybe become friends with them. It's kinda very abused as an idea, honestly, but I appreciate it. Then we need to give some pink coins to Metaletemon, and okay, those are obtained in the Entertainment District. We already have a lot of them because Manyamon in the Dimensions gives them to us, and yeah, Metaletemon joins, that bastard. Then there is Samudramon. Apparently, in his body now there is something for which, if the opponent is strong, he becomes stronger. How do you beat him? You don't attack for multiple seconds, so the program says the opponent is very weak, so he becomes weaker, and then you win. And in the end, there is a very touching moment, because Kuzuhamon and Taomon were actually friends back in the days. They studied together. Kuzuhamon doesn't really know if they're able to put their differences aside, and that she can join the city. So we're left on a cliffhanger. Not really, because in Digimon House we discovered she joined! Alright, for today I think we did enough, we can relax. No! Fuck this! Today we rest! Day 81, okay, let's do the mail. Basically, they were able to see a Digimon which seems a Digivolution form of Meikomon. We follow him around a little bit, we fight him, and then he goes away, and Meikomon appears in Digimon House and joins the city. I honestly don't understand still who the hell is Meikomon, so I'm gonna skip over this very quickly because I don't really like it. And now, the final post-game content available. It starts with an invitation in the Pink House, ex-house of Myotismon, in the Bonnie Resort. Meotismon and Piedmon are gonna accompany us, because they are kinda bound to Bonnie Resort, and want to see what happened. Arrived in the house, we discovered that the party they was talking about was just a trap. They capture Piedmon and Meotismon, and it's here that the nightmare begins. The whole Bonnie Resort, now it's a giant demon layer. On left and right, it's filled with Piedmons and Meotismons, which are gonna attack us, manipulated by the true mastermind in the back. What's gonna follow is over 1 hour of me going around corridors fighting repeatedly Piedmons and Meotismons. And honestly, I don't really like these. They are just recycling Meotismons and Piedmons. Come on, guys, just put... There are so many Digimons you could put in here to have some extra content. Hey, remember when in Digimon World 1 there were some Digimons you could not recruit but you could still fight to create more variety in the fights? After a while, we are almost back at the Pink House to face the true mastermind. We are just blocked by Gallantmon and Machinedramon, the partners of Himari and Kota, which were captured by this evil spirit. And by winning this fight, we gain the last move we were missing. Now we possess all the possible Digimon skills. Now we are one step closer to have everything. Arrived at the Pink House, the owner presents itself to us. OmegaMon. He's ready to rule over all the digital world, and we are the only ones who can stop him. This is the battle I was talking about earlier, or at least how I felt it for how my Digimons are in the current moment. And unfortunately, this battle in particular suffers from the same problem I repeated over and over through the video, that I feel like the combat become just a spam of guard and use the special moves to deal damage. It's cool looking at the animation every now and then, but when you end up doing it all the time, it becomes kinda boring. But OmegaMon falls in front of us. Or does it? No. He's too powerful to die. For now, he's just gonna retreat. But he will be back. And with that, we completed all the EX scenarios of the game. There is no more extra content, we can just recruit the Digimons. And we're missing only one of them, that we're gonna talk about on day 82. The same day in which unfortunately our Diaboromon dies. I mean, we wanted that. But it's also the same day in which we finally maxed out all the buildings of the city. This is the real Floatia. It cannot be upgraded anymore, we have everything. Who is the last Digimon we are missing? It's called Darkdramon, and it's a Digimon in Mod Cape. Do you know why it's the one which I left out as the last one? Because its quest is boring and stupid? Yes. Uselessly complex? Also yes. Not fully explained? Bingo! Darkdramon wants us to help him training to fight Bancholeomon. And he needs very specific characteristics from our Digimons. He needs Digimon that can punch, Digimons with a sword, Digimon with a mantle. The problem is, no. Not all the Digimons with punches are gonna be okay, not all the Digimons with swords are gonna be okay, not all the Digimons with mantles are gonna be okay. So yeah, the reason for which we killed Diaboromon is because now we're gonna use Digivolution items to repeatedly get different Digimons required for his quests. You have to fight him a total of 3 times, and everything is culminated by a final cutscene where he and Bancholeomon have one last fight. And surprisingly, Darkdramon is able to triumph, thanks to our training. I don't like this quest, but I agree it has a very beautiful conclusion. And with that, 200 prosperity. You know, this is new for me. Before playing these 100 days videos, I never even knew there was a quest of reviving the 3 Gods of Ruin, or that battle against OmegaMon. All of this is new content, because unfortunately, I played this game when I was still in high school. You know, you are busy with exams, you have to do other stuff, maybe you cannot fully commit 1 million hours to a single game. Even though I made like 3 different playthroughs of Persona 5. But that's different. The point is, in games like this, I didn't really felt incentivized to keep going, but the idea of keeping a diary and being able to tell my story to someone was also part of the magic. I feel like doing this travel by myself wouldn't have had the same magic in it. But it's not time to celebrate! We have one final stretch to do. First of all, we do more battles for Tamer experience, and then we start grinding the Colosseum. Colosseum is evil, because between the requirements for certain battles there are having Digimons which are ultimate or lower, or champion or lower, or Digimon which are fire attribute, or Digimon which are filth attribute, and these conditions end up tremendously conditioning which Digimons you want to bring. But we have devil chips and we had Digivolution items. That's why, from this day, all the way until the end of day 85, we spend our time taking care of the easy battles. Not really easy, we died a couple of times, but overall, except when the requirement is like don't use items or don't give orders, there is never that point where I'm like, man, this is very hard. Also, there are a couple of other noteworthy names. For example, one of the names of the challenges is digitizing. What was I smoking when I wrote the script? Redigitization. Is that a reference to Digimon World Redigitize? We are gonna discover it if we play Redigitize, I guess. But after dealing with most of the easy stuff, we have to go back to Rokis, in particular Numemon and Toyagumon, and we also have to train them. Again, the hardest challenge of the Colosseum is in front of us. Conditions, Roki or lower. The problem is, our opponents are monsters. Even with stats above 7000, it's almost impossible to complete this. We failed a couple of times, but in the end we were able to triumph and unlock more challenges in the arena. Huh? Who has the clock? War games? Is that a reference? Diaboromon? Is that a reference to our war game? Day 87, we are not able to beat Diaboromon and I spend the whole day training. Day 88, we finished all the Colosseum battles. The last fight was against the first Royal Knight, in his 3 forms simultaneously. Even this one is done. The last thing I want to do, to finish completely this, is to become the best Tamer in the world, which means reaching max Tamer level. And we are gonna be able to accomplish this in the dimensions. We have a limited time, but in here they provide one of the highest amounts of Tamer experience. In particular, the Infermons inside of the first dimension. But you can really use whatever you come across. If you really wanted, you could skip some days and just go into Infermon every single day, but we are still on a day timer and I don't want to risk anything, so we are gonna do it through all the dimensions. Also, if you meet Machinedramon, you're gonna be able to gain 2000 Tamer experience automatically. The training goes on. On day 90, we also realize something. You can DNA Digivolution Platinum Numemon and Digimon to create OmegaMon's worth And also, we finally reach 9999 stats. Still not at max HP, but at least that's something. Day 91. An email? The game is bro, the game is over! What is the... what? Nah, it's just Bolt Bogamon which wants a rematch, whatever. It's cute though, it's similar to Digimon World 1 Machinedramon rematch, I like it. Day 92, Bolt Bogamon finally reached everything at max stats. Look at all those 9s. As a Final Fantasy enjoyer, this view is ecstatic. Day 93, our Tamer level is 49. We are almost there, we are missing one more level, which equals into 100,000 experience. Which means, considering each Infermon fight gives us around 500 Tamer experience, we are gonna still stay here for a while. And more precisely, we're gonna stay here through day 94, 95, 96, and 97. On this day, we are missing around 200 experience. But you know, this doesn't feel special. We are just mindlessly grinding against these opponents, without even caring about what we are doing probably a little bit. Like, I cared in the first days, then when I just saw the numbers going up I was like, oh okay, now we're missing less Tamer experience, that's good. No, I want the conclusion of this adventure to be something special. And for that, we need the help of Titamon to do an ultra battle.
Hey.
If you played Pokemon Heart Gold, or Pokemon Gold, if you're even older, You already know the feeling of fighting your own main protagonist. Thanks to Volcano powers, he is able to summon Digimons from the past and from the future. And so, he goes out for Numemon and Machinedramon.
Here I go.
Everything started from a Machinedramon, and everything is gonna end with another one. Goodbye, Mameo. Thanks for the memories.
There! Good hit! You're doing it! You did it! Just like that! That's right! That's the way! Yeah! This'll show 'em! The way. That's the way. Nice.
Good going. I appreciate your help. Looks like you're ready.
You know, I don't really know how to end this video, because, as I even said around the day 25, I was already conscious that it was gonna all end in here. But now that it arrived, I'm already missing this. I complained multiple times through the video about how the game, in my opinion, is flawed, there are problems, it's a port from PS Vita, so of course it's gonna be kinda malfunctioning, but... like any Digimon game in the world, you dislike it a lot, but then you also love it a lot because you love Digimons. The only thing I can say, guys, at the end of this is thank you for following my adventure and for allowing me to finally finish this game. I hope we're gonna be able to see each other on part 3 with Redigitize. So, I already kept you long enough. For today, that's gonna be it. I was Frapollo94, and I will see you next time.
Thanks for everything! And hey, I can't wait to see you again!